Richie, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stories. Okay, Richie, let's start from the beginning. Richie, you were a Ghost Shadow member at one time.
Yes.
And you've been through the initiation process that a lot of the Ghost Shadows and the Chinatown Gangster in those days had. It was sort of like a ritual where you recite, certain words. But if you had a good memory and you understand Cantonese well, do you remember any of those words that were said?
Yeah, of course. Like when I bump into other dudes, they'd be like, "Yeah, I was GS too." I'd be, "Oh, you was GS? What's the verse? What's the poem?" A lot of people say they was Ghost Shadows because at the end of the day, the real hardcore members, not the weekend warriors, not the ones that we just call for a show. Like we have kids that we call them out for show. Like we know they're weekend warriors. We know they're not full-time gangsters. But when we need to make our presence known, call them up. Yo, tell all the bros to come out. Tell all the bros to come out. And then they all come out and it's like flashing. We're flashing our strength. When in reality, there was only like 15, 16, 17 of us that's like really hardcore, So a lot of them don't know the verse unless they was like really, really,
What made them initiate you? Why did they choose you?
Well, they've been asking me for a long time too, as well. And I had the incident with the FDs where, I tried to take some of their soldiers and start my own crew, and they was about to flip on me. And, I didn't want to. That was my opportunity to leave and hang out with like dudes that I hang out with. Because, there's other members that I hang out with that are not Ghost Shadows. I mean, that was not dragons and stuff like people you gravitate towards, like people that birds of a feather flock together. So I hung out with them off gang time. Like I wasn't on demon time when I was hanging out with them. I wasn't on gang time when I was hanging out with them. We was just like friends just hanging out. And I had a few that was on Bayard that was real cool. And they always say, "Yo, whenever you're ready," because I left from TO and I left from Dragons. I left from this, like a lot of Bayard boys, we came from other crews. So yeah.
Can you recite that verse? Do you remember?
Oh, I remember. It's like burnt into my memory,
Oh, yeah.
It has,
You're good. You got a good memory.
As an actor, you need to have a good memory.
Yeah.
Because we have to remember our lines and where we stand, blocking and all that.
You gotta read that script and you gotta like remember every word.
You don't have to remember every word. Like a lot of people think that in acting you have to remember the whole movie. No. When you first get casted, and all the principal actors is casted already, you'll have a table read. So we'll all sit down on a table and we'll read the script together. Everybody read their own lines. So you basically have an idea. And when it comes time to film, no movie films in order. You film by location. Like just say for example.
Do you read the script word for word? Like
you have to.
When you act it out?
You have to.
You can't like put your own words in there?
No. Writers get mad at that, and I'm not big enough to say my own lines, so I follow it to a T.
I guess if you're an A-lister, you can.
If you're A-lister and like if you're Hugh Jackman, yeah, of course you can, but nowhere near there. So I just follow directions. I like to be directed. I don't like to think. When I'm working, I don't want to think. I just want to follow directions and be directed,
Tell us about the Ghost Shadow verse that you recited during your initiation process.
Oh, it's 龍飛鳳舞震家聲，槍殺飛龍黑白鷹，趕絕東安滅福清，威震華埠是鬼影. So basically the translation is like dragons and phoenixes dancing in the sky, kill all dragons, black and white eagles, kill them too, T.O., run them off the street, eliminate Fuk Ching forever, That's the verse. And at the last verse is, we control this city, we go shadow. So that's the verse. Yeah. Did you understand this by Canto Bad?
Yeah, I understand it. I understand it. It's very poetic though. For me to translate, it'll be difficult.
I mean, that's the direct translation,
more direct translation.
Yeah. So a lot of people say my Canto is like my English, it's mad slangish. So.
But that verse definitely had to come after the mid-'80s because Fuk Ching wasn't around before. So the verse that you recited is different from the verse that someone like Peter Chin Kidzai recited when he was young.
Yeah, it's different. It's totally different.
Totally different. So every gang have their own verse.
We had a verse in BTK.
Yeah.
We was just all 20 dudes living in an apartment, and that was our initiation. So, I guess every crew is different.
Now, what is your opinion on, like, you hung out with the BTK, the Flying Dragons, and the Ghost Shadows. What is your own personal opinion on each of the gangs?
For a startup, when you first get initiated and you really want to find yourself, BTK was good because they wasn't about making money. They was about making noise, doing this, doing that, and I felt really comfortable there. The only thing was my dialogue got killed and I didn't speak Vietnamese. So that was the main reason for me to leave there. I left in good terms. It's just it's hard. And when a lot of people say, "Oh, you're hood hopping, you're doing this," but you're not real because you hood hopping. No, that's bullshit. I feel like people that join their first gang and conform to their surrounding and become like lemmings and follow like all their bros and be just like them, you didn't find yourself. You became somebody else. I didn't want to become somebody else. I wanted to make a name for myself. So I'm gonna go put myself in the best position I can to do that. So I had to find people that was like-minded like me.
And then the Flying Dragons, how would you describe that organization when you went there?
Well, I was in the FOB Dragons. I wasn't with the ABC Dragons. So ABC Dragons was about their money. FOB Dragons, they was about their money, but not really. And Aldilo had a business, and he had us working in his business. I'm like, yo, that's not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to work in this store. Like, I'm a gangster. Well, why do you have me selling fruit or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't gonna last long.
And then you cross over to the Ghost Shadows. How do you describe the Ghost Shadows?
I found some true brothers there.
Even to this day?
Even to this day. Like, when I went to Hong Kong, they took care of me, took me around, you know what I'm saying? And I had a really good time over there with them. In China, when I meet up with them, like every time I would go somewhere and my ex-bros is there, they make it their business to meet up, So, yeah, I feel like even though my group did not stand tall, some of them, the ones that did stand tall, friends for life. We went through a lot of shit together. So we might not hang out every day together, but if we see each other, like if I see him in a restaurant, before I even greet him, I'm gonna go pay his tab. Because I know he would do the same thing to me if he saw me first. So that's the type of friends that I still keep in touch with. And they all like businessmen, they don't do no crime. They changed.
You served time with many of them?
No. I served time in the state because when I called my case, I was 16 years old. And a few years later, that's when the RICO came down. And by then I was off the street for like a year and a half already. So I didn't get hit with the RICO because everything that I did before I was considered an adult. So I was 15, 14, 13. That's when I was banging at my hardest. So no, I didn't get caught up in the RICO thing.
And some of your friends from the Ghost Shadows got caught up.
All of them got caught.
And then they started serving Fed time.
Some went to witness protection program, so,
How do you feel about rats?
How I feel about rats? As a law-abiding citizen now, I know they're part of the system. You need them. Because, some people don't belong on the street. When you say rat, because a lot of people say, oh, if you call the cops, you're a rat. If my mom calls the cops, she's not a rat. If my dad or my brother call the cops, they're not rats. This is what normal people are supposed to do. That's what law enforcement is there for.
That's correct, but someone in your gang...
They're a rat. They're a rat. If you're committing crime and you're doing bad and your job is to avoid the police, why would you call them? Why would you call them? Like, it's like mixing oil and water. It just doesn't, it's not supposed to be,
But now that you're no longer about that life, and if someone that you know from before who's a rat, would you still be friends with someone like that?
I would greet him. If he greets me first, I'll give him a nod. But as far as, yo, what you doing? Yo, you want to go hang out? Yo, let me buy you dinner. Let's go get drinks. No, fuck no, hell no. Even though I'm not in that life, the quality of character that you are, you're not worthy for me to waste my energy to befriend you again. You know?
It shows that that person is the weak link.
He's the weak thing. He's going to fold. He's going to break. You know, heaven forbid, we're not even committing crimes, but heaven forbid something happens and
it doesn't have to be crime. It could just be, you know, regular everyday life where you're put in a position.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're the weak link.
Yeah, no, thank you. I don't even hang out with people that are in that lifestyle because sometimes you're guilty by association. So, no.
Peter Chin, Kidzai, when he came out from prison, a lot of people came over, wanted to meet with him, show him the respect, but he wouldn't meet with anyone who's a rat.
As he shouldn't. He did 20 years.
Even my dialogue,
Yeah.
the guy at the top, I'm not gonna mention his name, he turned down that meeting.
He is a true legend. Like, when I came out, they was telling me stories about him, you know? So, like, I looked up to him, like, when I was on the street, like, even though I didn't meet him, because he was already locked up, but even though he was locked up, his stories were still circulating around the shadows, like all the shit they did and stuff like that. And, you know, you're young, you're like, damn, this man is like, they still talk about him. He's been in jail for so long and they still talk about him. And the stories, so, you know, the younger ones like me, we try to emulate him, you know, so.
By the way, did you finish reading his book, In the Ghost Shadows?
I got 20 more pages.
20 more pages.
20 more pages and then I'm going to start your book.
You know what? You're part of the CGS family, Chinatown Gang Story family right now.
Thank you.
You know, wherever we go, you're going to ride along and we're all going to be in this together.
Love it.
And, you know, hopefully you're going to get that part in the TV series or whatever series that we're working on because you're already an established actor.
Thank you.
You're the only person on this channel who's an established actor and you got to get a part.
Thank you.
Got to get a part. Now, my question for the viewers is, which part do you think Richie Ng would do well in from the book In the Ghost Shadows? Like, which character you think fits him the best? And then, for those of you who read my book, Bad to Blue, let me know which part you think Richie Ng can fit well into.
I know which role I could play in Ghost Shadows because I didn't read your book yet, but
let the viewers decide. How's that?
Yes.
And then on the next time we do, the next time we do our interview, then you're gonna let the viewers know what character you had in mind.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Like, I already have a. All right, we're gonna go with.
You didn't tell me yet, and I didn't ask you yet. But
no. You just sprung this on me right now, so I'm not even prepared. Like,
you're not prepared.
Who do I want to play? Of course.
All our interviews is unscripted, by the way. Like everything we say, even the past interviews with all the other guys, it's unscripted. You know, we just go with the flow. Yeah. What do you think about the book?
Loved it. I learned stuff that I didn't know. Like, that's my history. I don't want to say my history, my old history. And there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know and had misconceived thoughts about. And that book really broke everything down. Like, and it's crazy how you was the one that convinced him to write the book.
You didn't know that.
I didn't know that until I read the book. Like, he turned you down at one time too.
Many times.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I get it. I know why. I get it. I would have turned you down if I didn't meet you and know you as a person. I would have turned you down too. I mean, at the end of the day, people that was in that lifestyle, you're a retired police officer.
Exactly.
So, you know, it
doesn't mix.
It really doesn't. Like, I don't know, but you come off so genuine and you take care of so many people. It's like, it's hard to tell you no. Like, how long did it take for us to meet up? Like, well, a year and some change, yeah. And I guess it's the stigma sometimes, you know. I get it too. Like, people don't want to deal with me because, oh, he's a jailbird. He's been in jail so many times. Like, he ain't trustworthy or whatever. But you know, on my last bid, I got bailed out. And for those 2 years I was on bail, I did 2 movies. Like movies that went into the movie theaters and main roles. So it's not, sometimes when a person takes a chance and overlooks your stigmatism or whatever it's called. Stigmatized, and they find out who you really are, and if you're a good person, it's gonna shine through. No matter about your past, you know? And you're a good dude. So when I first met you, I had my trepidations, but after like 5 minutes talking to you, I was like, damn, I should have did this way earlier, you know what I'm saying? Because the energy you radiate, it's genuine. I don't see, like I'm good at reading people. In prison, you have to know how to read people because everybody has an ulterior motive. Even myself in there, I had ulterior motives. So I don't blame anybody for having ulterior motives. So I've learned at a young age to look for that. I don't try to look for the good qualities in people. I want to know if we interact, what is your motive? Like, what do I have that makes you want to befriend me? You know what I'm saying? So I always look for that. And when I met you, I was looking for that and I couldn't find it. I was like, am I losing my touch? What's up? You know, but genuine dude, bro.
Thanks.
Genuine dude. Like everything you told me, like our phone conversation, our texts, everything you said comes to fruition, and it's like, it happens. And sometimes even when there's stuff that you don't want to say, not that you don't want to say, but how can I put this? Sometimes a pill needs to be sugar coated. Like you know how to like do that without, you know, like lying, you know what I'm saying? So I respect you. I respect your person and your style and everything, you know?
I'm the type of person who just tell like it is, and, you know, I basically shoot from the hip. That's why a lot of people probably can't accept certain things I say because I come across as too blunt maybe sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Like all our conversations, not everything is peaches and roses. There's mad times he checked me about shit like, no, we're not doing this, bro. So, you know, it's not, he ain't no pushover. That's all I'm saying. Like, I wish I could walk all over him, but he's not, you know, so. Sometimes we just know, you know.
The interview with Jay, that was a good interview.
Me and Jay actually met before this. Like, we had a really close mutual friend. He might consider him a mutual friend, but that's like my bro. Like, we was born the same year, same month. He was born exactly 14 days before me, you know, and that was my guy. I used to hang out with him almost every day. That's how I met Jay, because I came over a few times and Jay was there, you know what I'm saying? And that was my guy.
I remember he brought up the incident about the gum sing on 8th Avenue.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you?
That was me. I beat the shit out of him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He always wondered.
I'm just kidding.
That must be Richie. You know? So he's like trying to like check out the timeline.
I was in that neighborhood at that time, you know?
Yeah, probably you.
I have a picture of me when I was 16. That's the only picture I have of me. Because, you know, back then we didn't have no cell phones and stuff like that. Wait, can I get my pictures back from the 5th precinct that they took of me?
It's so old because back then they used the Polaroid. They didn't scan it into what we call now the photo manager, where everything is computerized.
Oh, okay. Because I have no childhood pictures of me because I left home so early. And, you know, if you lived at home, you take pictures of your family when you go on family vacations and stuff like that. And I didn't do none of that. And when you're in the gang, you're not taking no pictures. So I only have one picture of my youth.
Some of the young kids watching the channel thinking that pictures were common. Pictures were not common back then. You had to like get a camera, snap a photo, and then you have to get it developed. And you gotta pay for each picture.
And you don't get it instantly.
And especially the guys in our life, right? They don't want pictures.
No.
So it's very rare to have a photo. Even if you notice, all the pictures I took with Diamond back then, he don't look at the camera. His eyes are facing down. Yeah. They don't like to take pictures. They trust me enough to take a photo with me. Because these guys are wanted. It's like he's not gonna want to take a picture.
Yeah, no.
They even have like wanted posters, a sketch artist drawing of him. You think they want to take pictures? No.
We were so against taking pictures. Like even when I first came home, I still had a habit. Like when I see people taking pictures, I go like this. Or even when I take pictures, me and my boy, we take pictures, we go like this, cover our face. It's not that we're trying. It's just bad. It's an old habit. You know, it's an old habit.
The reason why I have so many pictures is because I was in that business where I had a Polaroid camera, and I needed to take photos of a lot of people who joined the membership for my store, my retail store. So I had a Polaroid there. So that's why I snap photos whenever, I get a chance with my buddies, guys at the pool hall. So that's why I got some of these pictures.
Oh wait, now that you bring up Polaroid, I might have pictures of my youth from prison, because like when you went to go visit Shorty, Sammy, you guys took pictures on the visit floor.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of visit floor pictures.
I forgot, when I went to prison to visit Sammy, did I bring my own camera, or they had the camera?
They had their own camera.
Yeah, they had the camera, and then you got to pay for it.
You pay for it, yeah.
Because I was wondering how.
I used to be the cameraman on the visit floor, so I used to take pictures now up there.
Yeah, I got several pictures in Sammy when I went up to Kosaki to visit him. Oh, that was a trip, man. Back then there was no GPS. I had to look at the map. I had to open up the map.
And they had
a paper map.
Yeah, paper map. And it was so hard, to come up. But they had bus services that used to come up. But Kasaki was like caught right in the middle, because it's not super far, but it's not super close. So there wasn't too many bus services that went to Kasaki. Like jails that was further up north, like Comstock, Clinton, Attica, Elmira, they all have bus services, because back then there's no GPS. Not too many people drove. So, and it's difficult to drive with a map. Like, I remember one time my parents and my brother came to visit me, and I was far. I was like by Erie County. It was like 9 hours away. By the time they got there, and they drove with a paper map, they said. By the time they got there, visiting room was closed, so it was over. They drove all the way up there for nothing.
The last video we did, which I didn't release because of the audio, but maybe if you guys don't mind the audio, maybe I can release it. You did something with a razor blade. You spent a lot of time in prison, and I was pretty impressed with what Monkey did when he was in prison. I was like a teenager, maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 years old, just 19, 20, whatever. And he served him some time, and when he came out, he was like dancing that razor blade in his mouth. I'm like, when he opened it, I couldn't find it. I'm like, where'd it go?
We keep it on the side. We keep it on the side.
Yeah, he was that good with it.
That's our main weapon in there, because even when I used to be in the shower, like.
And then you showed me a video of you doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I got a razor blade here. I want to see you do that.
You want to see it in person?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let me
that?
just get that. 1 second. All right, so you grab this, and then I'll use a different phone. Oh, it's okay.
Democracy, We talk to somebody. We always keep it in our mouth, because you never know when beef will happen, and you don't want, and police might search you or whatever. But it's like second nature for me. Like, I could talk, I could flip it around, spit it out. You know what I'm saying? And we don't even use these no more, because we got black scalpels now that are made of ceramic, just as sharp, and doesn't ring when you go through the metal detector in jail. And that's how we used to use it as a weapon. That's where the term spitting razors come from. Like, we spit it in the air. Like, me and my bro, we used to practice in there. Like, because when you go to court, you usually try to get some new sneakers. You see somebody with a nice pair of sneakers, you're gonna take it. So you want to threaten them. So I used to go in the bullpen, put my arm around the dude, like, yo, what's up, man? When you came through, what's your name? And I catch the razor. Unask them shoes. Unask them. I'm gonna cut you. I swear to God, I'm gonna cut you. Unask that shit. And usually they do. You got the fucking razor in your face, and you're like, oh my God, this motherfucker's about to slice my throat. You know what I'm saying? But I learned the trick a long time ago that over here, there's no vital organs or no big veins here. So that used to be where I used to try to hit, because when people see it, oh my God, he cut my throat. Mad blood is coming out. Mad blood will come out, but it's not life-threatening. It's superficial. So that was my mark. So if you ever see anybody in there with this, know that was me. Because
I remember the 80s, there were a lot of guys coming out from prison with like a smiley face.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I got cut too. I got stabbed. I got stabbed in my head in the mess hall. So, it happens. It happens. And I always say I'd rather get caught with it, because if you get caught with it, you're gonna go to the box. But I always say I'd rather get caught with it than to get caught without it. Even when I used to take a shower, I had a different bar of soap in my soap dish, right? Because in Kasaki, they have communal showers. Like, there's no private showers or whatever. Like, 10 dudes from the gallery jump in the shower. And that's where a lot of times dudes fight in there, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have, like, animosity towards dudes. So I had one soap that was mad soft. Like, I soaked it in water and everything, and dug a little gouge in the side, and I used to stick the razor in there like this, but only this is sticking out. So when I shower like this with the thing, and then if shit pops off, I pull the razor right out the soap. But if police decide to run up in the shower because somebody else is fighting in surgery, right, boom, I squeeze it into the soap, so you can't see it, you know.
But I'm sure the COs are privy to all these tricks. They just turn a blind eye on it.
They're privy to it, but in the heat of the moment, during a red dot, during an emergency, you don't think back to your training. You're just trying to make sure whoever's getting stabbed, whoever's getting cut is secured, weapons is secured, you're not bleeding, they're not bleeding, their fellow officers not bleeding. That's what runs through their mind when they're racing down the corridor to responding to a red dot. All that training goes out the window, because I spoke to a lot of police in there. I was the clerk, I was the block clerk. So we kick it, especially the jail I was in was like 85% female officers. So did a lot of chit chat. So I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying? So yes, they're trained to see this, but in the heat of the moment, I had so many close calls, but I almost got caught with it. I even got strip search, and I got away, and I didn't even have it in my mouth.
Hey Richie, that was a really good conversation you had with Kid Call. And
well, I looked up to him my whole life, so just being able to talk to him, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. That was really good. You guys had good chemistry, and hopefully, we get another part. Next time you can come and we'll do another sit down together.
Yeah. I learned so much, and it was very good.
There's a lot of things I didn't know about you, rapping and all that.
Well, I don't rap. Like, I rap other people's songs.
Oh yeah.
Like I can't.
You make up your own lyrics?
No, I can't. I'm not creative like that. No.
Right.
Like, you have to be very creative and be a great storyteller and know how to rhyme the words to write your own shit. Like Mac writes his own shit, so he do his thing. I'm not like that. But if I know the song, I got stage presence. I can perform it.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I used to do that. Put on shows when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. Make a little bullshit stage and lip sync to the popular songs and shit. So.
Yeah. Remember I told you sometimes it's easier for me to express myself with writing than speaking about it. Just like you, when you were talking about some of the things that made you emotional.
Yeah.
It was difficult to express yourself. And everybody have their own form of way of expressing themselves. Some people express themselves through art. Some people express themselves through music, like singing. Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong. I have a book of poems that I wrote while I was in there at home. Like, I shared 1 or 2 before on my Instagram, but I have a whole book. Because I did a lot of box time. Like I was telling Kickall, I did a year here, 2 years here, 18 months here. I did a lot of box time, and in the box, you really have nothing to do. So I wasn't getting mail like that, so I wrote a few poems.
I wrote something myself.
Really? Can you share it?
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
All right.
Before I share it, I just want to let you know what KHB stands for and AUB. Because back in those days when I was a teenager, there was this small gang of white kids called Kings Highway Boys.
They used to hang out by primetime billiards.
Oh, so you heard about the Kings Highway Boys.
I gangbanged my whole life. I know where every crew hangs out at.
And then there was a crew called Avenue U Boys.
Avenue U Boys, yes, I remember them.
AUB.
There's mostly Albanian and what's the other country next to them? Yeah,
mixture of
Avenue U Boys.
Yeah. So sometimes we get into fights with the Kings Highway Boys. The Avenue Boys, they were okay. I was chased by, I don't know if they at that time. It could be the Avenue U Boys who chased me and a friend of mine back then, and with bats. That was before I hung out. That was and I didn't like that feeling.
No.
Always. I didn't want to be a
target.
A target.
A victim.
A victim, and that's why one of the reasons why I joined the gang also.
That was the impetus to make you join a gang, because you never want to feel like that again.
Yeah, one of the incidents.
I get it.
Just feeling vulnerable, and was running for my life. A bunch of kids jumping out of a car, chasing me with a bat.
Yeah, that is scary.
Yeah.
Especially if you didn't hang out. And
I was only 15 years old. I was a little kid. Why would they pick on me? I was just waiting for the bus at the bus stop.
Kids just do stuff that makes no sense.
Yeah,
absolutely no
back
sense.
In those days.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me see if I have that poem that I wrote. On our first interview, I always mention that one of the ways for a person to change is when you realize what your mistakes are, and then that's when you're able to change. If you don't realize it, you're not going to take that first step to make that change. Right?
Facts.
Realization. So I always say realization is the key to change. So something I wrote, I'd like to share with you, and you let me know what your thoughts on it.
Okay.
Realization is the key. The change is within me. They tried to break me, but they made me. They bullied me till they feared me. Did they create me? I ask myself daily. Need to be ruthless to defeat my enemies. Place my victim in a predicament. Bam, bam, he was out in a moment. Took my Fifth Amendment, was a challenge to the government. Was I a product of my environment? Use my clout to take you out. In too deep, can't get out. Filled with anger and hate. Step back, think, and evaluate. Channel my energy away from my enemy. Otherwise, it will cost me. Taking you out wasn't my style. Now you're just another case file. Everyone's a gangster with an ambition, till they're under federal investigation. Then comes realization, the streets lost its seduction. Power of Rico ain't no joke, bro. Even if you lay low, feds control the show. Pell Street, Mott Street, Canal Street took us to the easy streets. Feds ultimately got us beat. Hopelessness in America brought my friends to Attica. Young with no direction, had all the wrong intentions. Now they pay back to society who put them in solitary. Born with a clean slate, gangster was my fate. Sucked into a life of crime. Prepared to do time. They shaped my mind. Now I freed my mind. I left behind the life of crime. Life threw me a curveball. Fell into a freefall. I managed to leave it all. Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings, Flying Dragons, Ghost Shadows, Folk Ting, we're all one and the same. In every gangster there's a thing. It's a dream to go legit. Give me an opportunity, you must admit, I make a good fit. Watch me rise to the occasion. Witness my signs of ambition. I can even defend a nation. Time served is my redemption. Fighting for inner peace while carrying a peace is not going to work while you're still hitting the streets. Cross the line, risk doing time, now avoiding setbacks and any attacks. Opportunities weren't available, made my dreams impossible. Had to take from you what you won't let me do. All I wanted is live like you. KHB, AUB, Bloods, Crips, they're just like me. Flying Dragons, Ghost Shadows, Folk Ching, no longer our thing. One mistake is all it takes to raise the stakes. Life's a gamble, takes discipline to handle. Otherwise, you're living your life in shambles. Get out while you can. Don't want to spend life in the can. OGs who went legit was a young gangster who decided to quit.
That's deep. And did you put that in your book?
No, I mean, it took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours
To write that?
to write that. It just
Get the fuck out of here. That's quick?
that quick. That's just like how I want to express myself. You know, when I read this to some of my close friends, they thought it took me a long, but
I thought it took you a long time too, because
it didn't.
it takes me like a week or sometimes more, you know. But can I see that again? I want to read it myself. Like,
Oh, yeah?
see it.
You
I want to
can
see it. Because the message, I feel the message, you know. It feels like something I feel like that sometimes too, you know. So
What do you think about it?
it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, do you want to be my ghostwriter? I got the voice, I don't got the brain. I got the voice, I don't got the
You
brain.
did like, I don't use parts of it for a rap, right?
Realization is the
Oh,
key.
right here. Oh, you just go like this. I could.
Okay.
And just move up.
Realization is the
You
key.
can read it.
The change.
Read it on your own, so I have it from your voice.
Oh, you want me to read it out loud?
Yeah.
Realization. Realization is the key. The change is within me. They try to break me, but they made me. They bully me till they feared me. Did they create me? I ask myself daily. Needs to be ruthless to defeat my enemies. Place my victims in a predicament. Bam, bam, he was out in a moment. Took my Fifth Amendment, was a challenge to the government. Was I a product of my environment? Use my clout to take you out. In too deep, can't get out. Filled with anger and hate. Step back, think and evaluate. Channel my energy away from my enemy. Otherwise, it'll cost me. Taking you out wasn't my style. Now you're just another case file. Everyone's a gangster with an ambition till they're under federal investigation. Then comes realization. The streets lost its seduction. Power of Rico ain't no joke, bro. Even if you lay low, feds control the show. Bell Street, Ma Street, Canal Street took us to the easy street. Feds ultimately got us beat. Hopelessness in America brought my friends to Attica. Young with no direction, had all the wrong intentions. Now they pay back to society who put them in solitary. Born with a clean slate, gangster was my fate. Sucked into a life of crime, prepared to do time. They shaped my mind, now I freed my mind. I left behind the life of crime. Life threw me a curveball, fell into a free fall. I managed to leave it all. Crips, Bloods, Land Kings, Flying Dragons, Ghost Shadows, Fuck Ching, we all the same. In every gangster there's a thing, it's a dream to go legit. Give me an opportunity, you must admit, I make a good fit. Watch me rise to the occasion, witness my signs of ambition. I can't even defend a nation, time served is my redemption. Fighting for inner peace while carrying a peace is not gonna work while you still hitting the streets. That's deep. Cross the line, risk doing time, now avoiding setbacks and any attacks. Opportunity wasn't available, made my dreams impossible. Had to take from you what you wouldn't let me do. All I wanted is to live like you. KHB, AUB, Bloods, Crips, they just like me. Flying Dragons, Ghost Shadows, Fuck Ching, no longer our thing. One mistake is all it takes to raise the stake. Life is a gamble. Take discipline to handle. Otherwise, you're living your life in shambles. Get out while you can. Don't want to spend life in the can. OGs who went legit was a young gangster who decided to quit. Deep, deep, deep. This is really deep, like the message there. All I need is a beat. All I need is a beat and sing the song. No, I'm just kidding. It's really good. It's really good. Next time I come, I'm gonna bring my book.
Yeah.
My book of poetry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have that.
Interesting.
And read it and give me your feedback. Like, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Some poems, the words don't rhyme.
Yeah.
Like, I've written poems that the words don't rhyme, but this, it rhymes and it connects. So that's the most important thing.
I guess some guys can relate
Yes.
to certain parts.
If you've been in that life, you can relate. For a layman, it might be a little bit harder for them to relate, but everybody watches movies. They have a preconceived conception of what gang life is. So that can appeal to anybody, everybody. It's not just people like us, because it has a deep message. Like the next time I go do the Boys and Girls Club where I talk to the at-risk youths, I want to read that to them because it's deep.
Yeah,
You know?
be my guest.
And I'm not with the plagiarizing. I'm gonna let them know I got it from you, but it's something that I would like to share with the kids. It's really good.
Yeah, hopefully it could be like a wake-up call for some people who
Yeah.
are still involved in
Yeah.
gang activity.
They could turn into like a mantra, like the the 12-step programs. You know, like this is what you need to do to succeed. Like follow these rules. You know,
Yeah. Realization is the key.
realization
You
is the key.
realize what you're doing is wrong. That's the first step to any change.
Realization is the key.
And the change is within me. So up to you whether you want to change or not. We went through that, right? Just like you can have all the programs in prison, but if you're not ready for that, you
It's
don't
useless.
realize
It's useless.
it's useless.
It's useless. No, it's definitely useless. Parents now, they know, oh, that's where the term Tiger Mom comes from. Oh, I want my kid to take violin, I want to play piano, I want to, like, there's so many things that you can put your kid into. Opposed to immigrant parents, they have to work to survive. So all we had was the streets. So that's what we emulate. You know? That's why I feel like gang life is not as prevalent in New York anymore as it is elsewhere.
Yeah, the parents back then, they had to work. It was either work and put food on the table or there'll be no food.
And living in New York City is so expensive. So now only the semi-successful people and people that has money can live here. Even the rent control. All right, you live in a rent control apartment, but you go downstairs, you want to buy a slice of pizza, it's $17. You're gonna want to leave there because that's how they do it. You know, I mean, I'm all for like mixing cultures and stuff like that. Like people say, "Oh, how do you feel about the gentrification of Chinatown?" Boom, boom, boom. I like it and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I like it because it brings attention to us and it makes it like we're part of, you know, society. We're not closed off. But what about the mom and pop shops? You know what I'm saying? What about the people that don't speak English? And what about the people that's getting forced out of their apartments? You know, so there's pros and cons about it. That's what I think, you know. I mean, it might not be true, but how do you feel about it, the gentrification of Chinatown? I know that's a very touchy topic.
It's a sensitive topic, but it's something that beyond our control
Yes.
or anyone's control.
Yes.
Except the elite, the people with money.
Yes.
And the Asians are not at that level in this country to make that kind of
No.
decisions and impact.
Not yet.
We're just a small minority in this country. We're like a minority within the minority.
Yeah.
And in order to, have our voice heard, we need to stick together and
Be more proactive.
And vote in blocks, just like
Everybody else.
Everybody else.
I mean, we grew up in New York City, so like we see a lot of Chinese people. But when I go to like other states, like Indiana, they don't have a big Asian community. Like I never thought we was minorities because there's so many of us. But in the bigger picture, in the bigger scale, in America, we are a very tiny minority.
Yeah, and there are some, notable, famous Asians in this country who made it big. But what are they doing for their fellow Asians? Are they speaking up, for the community? Are they taking any proactive approach to any of the Asian hate crime that's going on out there? Like, you don't hear any, body speaking up about it except for maybe the Asian politicians.
I feel like in the acting, I can only speak about the acting industry, right?
It could be in any industry. It could be in the acting industry, or it could be, someone who made it big, who has, a lot of money, who can donate to a cause, to fight, for the community.
Okay, for somebody like me in this industry, I can't do that because when I do that, I alienate a lot of potential jobs in the future, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard. I'm not successful enough to be able to, if I was able to speak my mind, I got mad shit to talk about, like shit that bothers me, bothers my peoples. But
So I guess it's a career-ending.
It could be a career-ending move, yeah. It could be a career-ending move.
For let's say a famous actor or actress who's Asian.
There's this one actor that he's really speaking out about it now. He used to be on Hawaiian 5-0, Daniel Day Kim, and he made his money, so he's good, and he's well known, and he's actually speaking out about it now. He's talking about the equality inside the filming industry. Like, he's somebody that's really talking about it now. So I listen to all his stuff because when I hear him speak, I feel like, damn, he could read my mind. That's how I feel, you know what I'm saying? So big up to Daniel Day Kim, so that's what he's doing.
Man, that's a very bold move.
That is a very bold move on his part. He was just on an interview talking about that, and I'm like, oh my God, they're never gonna cast him again, So, but he's good. He got a strong following, and he's talented. So, at the end of the day, they're gonna recognize talent. If they need somebody like that, they're gonna go to him because he's talented. He carried an entire show on network TV, not cable, but network TV. That takes a lot.
Yeah, I guess he stands for what's right and what his beliefs are. Just like me, I took on the NYPD. I mean, how often do you see an Asian guy take on the NYPD and accuse them of racism? I mean, I was like labeled. My whole career was done after that, but I had to do what's right.
Yeah. Did you discuss it with your family before you did that, or you just said, fuck it, I'm tired of this shit?
I don't discuss anything with my family. Even like my past, they don't know. They could read my book and they'll find out,
Yeah.
Even if you read my book, you see.
When? I got 10 more pages from the last book.
I got shot at. I come home. I don't even talk about it. Because why? Why bother, Nobody's they're not going to understand. They're totally different. I don't take my job home with me. I don't. And it's funny because you mentioned that because I keep my life very private. And what happened to me in the police department, they transferred all these guys all over the place to different precincts. And they transferred to the precinct where my wife works at. And they were working together. They didn't know. I guess they didn't do their, their investigation. And they actually put them, one of them or two of them, in the precinct where my wife works at. And she didn't even know the story, and only what she read in the papers. And she didn't even know it was them. all those years she's been working. I didn't even mention it to her.
Yeah,
That's how like I really don't bring things home with me, to talk
that's
about.
really keeping a tight lip
That's
because
really
your
tight lip.
wife is in the same industry. Like,
Exactly.
I would expect like Pillow Talk to be talking about, I just arrested this dude, I had to hold up this, like,
Yeah.
but you'd be a perfect gangster because
Yeah.
very close lip.
Very close.
Yeah.
She's working in the same precinct as those guys who got transferred, to where she works at, and I never mentioned it. Those guys probably think she knew who they were.
Ah. So you wasn't worried about like retaliation and shit like that?
Nah, it's the fight was basically me and you. Why would I even tell my wife? For what? Not necessary. Everything need to know basis. If I tell her, then she's gonna act differently in front of them. Nah, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Just be natural. Just,
They didn't hold no animosity towards her?
I don't know. Maybe they felt awkward because they know
Because it was common knowledge you guys was a couple, right?
Yeah.
Within the police,
Yeah.
in the community.
Yeah.
That's wild. How long they worked together for?
Years.
They know now?
Yeah. This case happened 2019,
2019.
and my case finally got settled. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the
2019.
decision.
Oh, that's not that long ago, 2019.
Yeah, it's been over 6 years.
6 years. Wow, 6 years, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking back to like what I was doing in 2019 and I'm like, that just happened not too long ago, but wow, 6 years. Time fucking flies.
Yeah. And you know what? Some cases get settled in like a year or two. Mine took over 6 years.
That's a long time.
Yep, it's a long time.
That's a long time, especially if like you count it, like me, if I know I got hit by a bus and I know I got mad money coming, then buy this, I'm buy that, I'm buy this, I'm buy that. But if it takes 6 years, nah, you can't,
Yeah, I didn't even expect, I just like put it behind me because I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway. My life doesn't stop because of this, So even my attorney says, "Oh, don't do the YouTube channel, don't do the book." I'm like, and this was in 2021 when I retired. So I went against everything my attorney said. I'm like, what? My life's gonna stop because you don't want me to do this, that, No,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. Can't change who I am.
Exactly. And what are you doing but enlightening people on showing people other people's mistakes is like you could have your channel probably saved mad people already and you don't even know it. Because nobody wants to, once they see like concrete evidence like, yo, you will go to jail, you will grow old in there if you keep doing this. It sends a strong message.
And my channel doesn't hurt anybody. It's not putting anyone in prison.
No.
Right?
No. That's one thing I checked on too. Like, before I got on the show, I watched all your episodes. I'm like, this ain't one of them things where he's trying to exploit you and get people in trouble. Like, y'all talk about cases only when people are dead or convicted, So I respected that a lot. That played a big role on my decision making,
And even like some of the things that like Jay spoke about, it's hearsay, number one. And hopefully it brings closure to the family because it's been all these years. We're talking about a cold case. And, and everyone's dead.
Yeah.
And nothing can ever come back, but at least hopefully the family have some closure.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That's
one of the reasons why I don't like talking about my past case.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pick at the scabs. Like, the wounds will never fully close. Like, it's a loved one,
Yeah.
So your wounds will never fully close. You're always healing. So why pick at the scab? If you pick at the scab, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. So even on my channel, I try to keep that. I don't talk about it at all. Your channel is the only channel I ever opened up to you about my case, my first case. The other interviews I did never spoke about it, and I specifically said these topics is taboo. I don't want to talk about it. But with you made me feel so comfortable, and the trust is there. The trust is there, So I didn't get too deep into it because, nothing good could come from that.
Yeah. And plus, with the channel, like, we don't mention any names that, sensitive, people who don't want to be mentioned.
Yeah,
We don't do that.
No.
What'd you do for your first bid?
I did 18 years.
18 years. And what was that like? How long did it take you to get adjusted? Because, first time in there, you lose your freedom at such a young age. It must be difficult. I mean, knowing that you're not going to be going home.
It wasn't, because, like I said, I was deep enmeshed in the gang life. So I always looked at prison as part of a step to get up.
You expected it.
I expected it.
Just like some of these guys, like Teardrop, when I interviewed him, he was like, he felt at home, where he belongs.
Yeah.
You got that mindset of a gangster.
That is just a stepping stone. Like, I always say that a true measurement of a true gangster is when he goes to jail, how he's like in jail. Because, like I said, I've met a lot of people with big names in the street. They come to jail, and this is no disrespect to anybody that finds religion, but you find God, you find Allah, you find whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you didn't do that before you got arrested? Like all of a sudden you go to jail, like, they know you're fronting, they know you fake. Like, change doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual change, Sorry. It's a gradual change. For you to go in there on the first day and find God, like, I used to say, like, some Asian dudes that came to jail and they became like Muslim or whatever, they're religion, but they're one of the biggest gangs in there as well because they stick together. You do one thing to a Muslim brother, they're all gonna jump in. So when I used to see like Asians be Muslim, and I was young, no disrespect to Asians that are Muslim now, but in prison we call that MPP, the Muslim Protection Program. You join them and you get protected, it's because they protect each other, but why wasn't you doing that before? So I didn't change. I want to say I changed.
I respect people and their religion, but when you join religion for the wrong reason, that's where I lose my respect.
Yes. And then you're going to church every day in jail, but when you come home, you pick up a crack pipe. There are some perks in there that they give to the Muslim population, like in Kastaki, when you go to the box, it's still a communal shower. But if you're not Muslim, you can't go in the shower with your underwear on because they don't want you hiding stuff or whatever. You got to go in there. You can't bring shampoo to the shower. You got to put shampoo in your hair before they handcuff you and take you to the shower. And if you was Muslim, you was allowed to keep your boxes on. But if you're not, that shit is coming off. And it's a very awkward, maybe it's the way I was raised, but being in the shower, butt-ass naked with everybody, that's an awkward feeling. That's one thing I never did in there. I didn't find religion. Like, it was a stepping stone. So I said, you know what? When I go back out there, I want everybody to know that I was getting busy in here. You know what I'm saying? So that furthered my stay longer, because I was a head case. I was fucking up. I was intentionally fucking up, I wanted to be down. I wanted to be cool. I wanted motherfuckers to respect me. So,
And then after you did your time, 18 years later, you did your second bid. Now, did you have that same mindset going in to do your second bid?
Yes and no. Yes, I knew that I had to put the gangster mask back on and be a terror in order to survive. Like, I'd rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. So I went back in there with the same mindset. And then I got stabbed because, I was involved in a riot and dudes snuck me and stabbed me in the head. And I was thinking, damn, at a certain age, there's certain things a man shouldn't do. When you're in your 40s, you shouldn't be getting stabbed. You shouldn't be getting into a fight. You shouldn't be walking around with a black eye. After 25, no man should walk around with a black eye.
Where did you get stabbed?
In my face right here.
Now, the guy was looking to kill you?
He was looking to take my eye out or whatever, because I had, the day before, I got into a physical altercation with one of his bros. And they had no wins at that time in there with me. So they told me he was dead. Like, they said, yo, yeah, my bro was wrong. Nah, he apologizes. It's a fist fight. Leave it alone. It was just a fist fight. Very next day, I'm in the mess hall eating. I'm thinking everything is good. Next thing you know, I just felt something hit me. Boom. And then I felt somebody else hit me. So they have this thing they call a shooter and a safety. So the shooter is the one that stabs you or cuts you. And usually you would chase the shooter. So the safety comes and hits you and starts fighting with you. So when the police do come, the guy with the weapon is gone already. So they mark it down as just a fist fight. You understand what I'm saying? So they sent one shooter and two safeties on me. So I had like two dudes pounding on me, but luckily I'm an honorable dude. Like my reputation is gold. So a lot of people that wasn't gangbanging, that seen me getting jumped, they jumped in. They jumped in, and it became like a full-fledged 30-man riot. And the jail got shut down and just kept getting shut down. They fired into the mess hall, and they kicked me out the jail behind that.
Why would the guy stab you in the head, in the hard area of your head? That's your skull. Basically, a knife is not gonna actually go through your skull unless it's unless it's like really putting that amount of force. For me, I would go for the soft part of your neck. Like, did you move away? I mean,
I didn't even see it coming. I didn't even see it coming. But I guess like at the end of the day, everybody thinks
they just want to make a statement.
Maybe want to make a statement, and we all think headshots is the worst, you know. So everybody goes for the head.
It'd be an idiot to stab you in the skull, you know. I mean, if I'm gonna stab you and I'm creeping up behind you, I'm going for the jugular. I'm gonna stab you in the neck, the soft part of your body.
Yeah, well, stabbed me hard though. I needed like 9 stitches on the outside and 11 stitches on the inside.
Stab you hard in your skull.
Yeah.
If he stabbed you hard in your neck,
but look, if 1 inch over here would be my temple, or if I would have been turning around talking to the person next to me, it would have been in my eye. So I don't really know what he was aiming for, but I know he was aiming for this general area because he hit me right here.
Well, I guess he wanted to make a statement instead of kill you.
Yeah, he made a statement.
How long was the blade?
I'm trying to remember because they showed me the videotape. They showed me the videotape because when I got hit, I said, I didn't get stabbed. What are you talking about? They was like, got the video. I said, that wasn't me. Mm-hmm. You're bleeding right now. It wasn't me. So I didn't really get a chance to look at it clearly, but it was probably like this long. It was protruding. You could see it in his hand. You could see it in his hand. I ended up seeing that video again because the dude that stabbed me called me in to be a witness to testify on his behalf. Mm-hmm. And I did. I went in there. The captain said, what happened that day? I said, I really don't remember, but if you show me the surveillance tape, it might jog my memory. So he showed me the surveillance tape, and then he asked me, he said, I forgot his name. It was I don't remember. But they asked me, is that the man that stabbed you? No, I don't even know him. He's like, are you sure? Look at the video again. That's him. I said, that's him? My eyesight must be bad because I don't recognize him. And that was it. They sent me back. And they still found him guilty because the videotape showed it. Mm. But he called me as a witness. And jail code, if you're not a rat, you can go testify. Because if I didn't testify against him, if I didn't go testify for him, he would have been found guilty anyway, and they would have gave us a separation. And I never would have seen him again. They wouldn't allow us to be in the same jail. So I had ulterior motives testifying for him. I wanted to say he didn't do it, so we don't get a separation, so the chances of us bumping into each other again can happen, you know.
And even though you went to testify, you're not labeled as a rat.
No, he called me as a witness.
He called you as a witness.
The dude that stabbed me called me as a witness. And then he went back, he spread the word. He said, yo, he's a stand-up dude. He came in and testified for me about, you know, that helps with your reputation as well.
That's some kind of reputation that you have for him to call you as a witness. It shows, you know.
Because they know I'm a stand-up dude.
You're a stand-up guy.
I'm very stand-up. Like, I don't tolerate nonsense against rats, rapos, child molesters. So I have good jail principles. So, but beef is beef.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You could be the sweetest guy in the world. If there's beef and orders come, they was gangbanging. So if the order comes, hit them, they got to.
So now you're older and you're doing your second bid. You find it harder when you're doing time at that age?
Not so much the age. Like, this bid was easier physically. Other than me getting stabbed, it was a smooth bid because my reputation for my last bid followed me. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really have to put in as much work. But I say it's harder because my first bid, I accepted it. I welcomed it because this is my stepping stone. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no children. I've been away from home for like 3-4 years by that time. So I didn't really have nothing to miss. I didn't have a car. I didn't have my own place. You know, I lived with the gang, and so you know, I was a kid. I had nothing.
How much freedom did you have in between those two bits?
8 years.
And when you went in, did you bump into anyone who was still doing time in there that you know?
Yeah, hell yeah. A lot. That's why I said my reputation kept.
Exactly.
Because them dudes, when I came into jail, they tell their friends, "Oh shit, Rich is back. Look, yo." Blah, blah. So you know, plus the jailhouse rumor mill already knew that I became an actor as well. You know, so a lot of dudes that was locked up with me used to big me up, like, yo, I was just telling homie in the cell next to me, yo, you my dude, we just seen you on TV, like, you know. So there was a lot of notoriety, you know. So it wasn't, the worst thing was being away from my kids and my family, you know. That hurt more than anything else. Like, I always tell people that I ran out of tears, I can't cry no more, but I cried. I didn't cry because of the time. I didn't cry because of the pain. I cried because I'm gonna miss my kids growing up. You know, my parents are older. No, thank God they're still around. But anything can happen within those years. You know, so that's what
shows the human side of you.
Well, you know, for me that was the hardest part for me. Other than that, everything else is minute. I could take pain. I could take punishment. I could take oppression. I grew up with that. It doesn't faze me. But knowing that there's a possibility that my dad might never see me free again, or, you know, that was the hardest. That was the hardest for me. And I thank God every day that I didn't have to go through that. Because in my last bid, I had a death in the family. And when you have a death in the family, they take you to either to the wake or to the cemetery. And I went to the wake, and they shackled me down, and it was in Chinatown, shackled me down, everything, and they put a coat over me so people couldn't see it. But I don't want to ever go through that again. Like, to go visit a loved one when they're dying, when they're dead, and you're in shackles, hand and feet shackled, and you got the monkey suit on. The monkey suit is a suit they give you to, you know. So, yeah, thank God, like, I didn't have to go through that again. It was painful the first time. And she wasn't even my parents. She was my mom's big sister. But she's good. She was good to me. She helped raise me when I was a kid, so it hurt a lot. But nowhere near my biggest fear, you know. I want them to see me do good. Like, before they leave, I know everybody has an expiration date. Before they leave, I want them to be proud of me for something other than bad stuff. Like, they don't really, for a short period, they see me do really good. And that was when they was the most proud of me. But, you know, I'm human.
Yeah,
you know? And
you got the human side, you know,
like,
with the emotions.
This is a very touchy subject for me because, you know, I never really opened up about it because my persona, like, people in the street and people that know me, I have a certain persona, and it works in my favor. So I never really got to, like, I'm getting emotional now because I never verbally said this out loud. Like, I always thought it, but to hear myself say it and to hear it put out in the universe, it's
not easy.
It's not easy. It's also an eye opener because thinking something and actually verbalizing it is two different things. Like, I could think it and be scared and be sad and cry, but to actually verbalize it and be like, holy shit, this shit could have fucking happened. Like,
it's not something that you ever talk about because it's not easy to talk about because you have to carry that persona and you keep it inside you. And for you to talk about, of course it's gonna get emotional, you know, because I can relate because there's a lot of things that I kept inside me that I don't talk about. That's not easy to talk about. Sometimes I find it easier, you know, writing about it than talking about it.
That's why you got a book.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first time I ever heard it said out loud. Like, that was my biggest fear. That was, you know,
yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it, you know.
You learn from it, from all the experiences in the past. You know, we learn from it, and hope our viewers out there can learn from our mistakes.
Not anymore, you know.
Yeah, we move forward. We move forward.
And then I think it was at that point, like I got stabbed. They shipped me to another jail. The other jail was overrun with that same gang that stabbed me. So I had no choice. I had to pop off again before they popped on me. Then they sent me to another jail, which was Sing Sing. And Sing Sing, they're not really strong down in Sing Sing. So there was nobody to really, you know. And Sing Sing is like a jail that focuses on rehabilitation, for real. They have so many different programs to help people. It's not like Upstate. Upstate, after 4:30, 5 o'clock, all you have is night rec. There's like very little rehabilitation programs. In Sing Sing, there's a lot. A lot of people come in, outside people, a lot of programs, you know. So I said, you know what? I'm put in a position where I could actually do something, you know, and maybe if I do something like positive, my parents could be proud of me. I want my kids to be proud of me, you know. I don't want them to think, oh, my dad's a jailbird, oh, my dad is a criminal. No, I don't want them to see that. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna join this rehabilitation program, and I learned a lot from them. And I also learned a lot of acting skills from them as well. So it was like a win-win situation for me, the RTA program, you know.
Yeah, and I'm all for all these programs in prison trying to rehabilitate someone. Like you said, it's only if you want
Only
to
if you
change.
want to. Only if you want to change.
You know, there are just a small fraction of people in prison who just cannot be rehabilitated. They just don't want to change. They don't want to.
I was like that before. I didn't want to. Like, don't you want to change for the better? No, I'm comfortable with who I am. Why should I change? I'm not changing for nobody. So that was my mindset back then, you know. You have nothing to lose, you know. So luckily now, it was a hard lesson. It was a harsh lesson, and too many people had to pay for this lesson. Like, people always focus on, oh, yeah, you the victim suffered, you suffered, but they're not the only people that suffered. The victim's family suffered. The victim's loved ones suffered. Forget about me, I deserved it. My parents suffered. They didn't do nothing wrong. Why do they have to go to a jail to visit their son? You know, like, it's not cool. It's not cool. And I realized that on this bid.
It hurts the people who love you more than you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. And not all bad things come out of prison. Like, one of the good things that came out of my incarceration is I was able to reconnect with my parents. Like, we got to talk and like talk about everything. Like, before I went to jail, I don't even know how my parents met. Like, after I went to jail, I found out how they met, how they fell in love, all the shit they did to escape the country. Like, I didn't know none of that before that. Like, all I knew is my dad worked in a hotel. He started working in a restaurant first when he got here, but he went to night school and shit, and then he worked in a hotel. My dad worked in a hotel, my mom worked in a sweatshop. That's all I knew about them. I did not know nothing else. Like, I didn't even know my parents' birthday when I went to jail. So, you know, that was the only good thing about it, that it made me reconnect with my parents, and they shared their life story with me that I could share with my sons eventually and be like, yo, this is your grandparents. Like, they was the shit, you know? I have a story to tell about my parents, how they met too, but we say that for another time.
That's interesting.
It was rough. Like, I told one of my directors that I was working with, and he said, yo, I gotta write something for that. I said, no, my parents are very, you know, they don't want no notoriety, they don't want no fame, nothing. They don't want, because they still go to China, so they don't want to have that. Like, if they did a documentary on their story on how they met and how they escaped, then going back to China would be a problem for them.
Yeah, that's
because we still have relatives there.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that, there's a lot of stories that I held back because of that reason. You know, maybe one day I'll do a part 2 in my book. I'll
The full
explain
memoir.
The full memoir. There's things that, you know, I held back as far as, you know, what happened in China, you know, to my family, my mom, my dad, my grandmother. I put a little piece of it in the book just to get a little taste of it.
They're placed in history. Once it's
Yeah.
in the book, like, your legacy lives forever. Only if you do something good, though. Only if you do something good, you know. And you dedicate your life to law enforcement, so I know you did good shit. So, you know, I didn't even read the book yet, but I'll find out. I would love to share their story because it shows like perseverance, struggle, love.
Exactly.
It shows so much, and they just tell me not to share it, you know. But it's so like if I ever write a book, not about myself, it would be about them.
Times were different back then. During the Cultural Revolution,
Exactly.
it was rough.
It was rough
It was rough for a certain group of Chinese people who had to escape from China.
because their parents had power and position.
Exactly. So that's why.
That was my parents' case.
Yeah.
And they went to jail. So I'm not the first person in my family to go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always blame them. I said, I didn't know you guys went to jail. And then my dad was like, I went to jail. Your mom went to jail. She did more time than me. I was like, wow. And, you know, it was an eye-opener. And I really loved those moments on the visit room where we just sat down and I got to forget that I was in jail. I just got to listen to their stories and talk to them and, you know.
Well, if they want to go back to China, they can't talk about it.
No.
Just like I'm not going to talk about it because, hey, maybe one day I want to travel to China again, you know?
You don't travel, you haven't been to China?
I've been to China so many times, probably like 15 times.
Oh, that's a
yeah,
lot.
maybe more.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I go there a lot.
I think I've been there like 3 times, no, 2 times. 3 times my whole life. Only once as an adult though, only once as an adult.
Yeah.
But the country's so changed now.
So modernized.
It's modernized, it's so modernized. Like, I talk to somebody there all the time and it doesn't even look like what I envisioned it to look, you know, so, yeah.
I remember when I went back around 93, 94, around there. Yeah, there was some fugitives I bumped into in Toisan.
Oh, yeah?
Hiding from the law.
Oh, yeah.
During that time.
You was a police officer at that time already?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. So you was good.
Yeah.
You was good.
Yeah.
But before you bring up prison, right, you know, like they have this word called institutionalized, where like everything is based on jail. Like when I first came home the first time, I went into the shower with my slippers on, because in jail, that's what you do. You shower with shower slippers because the floor is nasty. I shower with my boxers on at home. Like, I caught myself doing shit like that. Like, I'm not part of that life no more. What the fuck am I doing, you know? And one thing that made me realize that I was institutionalized, I had this one recurring dream when I was in there, right? And, you know, when you're in there, you dream about being free. So, in my dream, I was free. I was walking the streets, and there was a girl in the corner. I started talking to her, and she was feeling my vibe. Boom. She asked me for my number and everything. And then I looked at my watch. I said, oh, shit. It's almost 3 o'clock. I said, let me get your number. I'll call you tomorrow, or I'll call you tonight. But I got to go. She said, where you going? I said, don't worry about it. And I'm speed walking down the block, down the street. As I'm speed walking down the street from sidewalk merged and morphed into the tear gallery of the prison. And I'm walking there, and I reach my cell, and I run in there, and I close myself in. I said, shit, I almost missed the count. Because 3 o'clock is count time, and you have to be in your cell for the count. So even when I'm dreaming about the street, a part of me is thinking, you gotta get back in your cell. You gotta get back in your cell before this time. Like, that's truly like institutionalized.
How about the prison strut? You come out, you still have that prison strut?
No. I'm always in a rush to go everywhere. Yeah. Like, people that walk with me, they're like, we're not running a race. Can we walk? You speed walking. Because in there, you speed walk. Like, I'll be in the yard, and sometimes just to clear my head, I'll speed walk around the yard just to think. So I'm accustomed to walking fast. Like, nothing good could come from being slow.
How often you had that nightmare?
It wasn't a nightmare, because the girl was hot.
Have you ever had nightmares?
Yeah.
Any recurring ones?
No, not recurring nightmares. No. Usually the nightmares I have is when I can't talk. Like, I'm a chatty person, so in my dream I couldn't talk, and I felt like I was being held down. But I went to college in there, so I took Intro to Psychology. And in Intro to Psychology, I learned what that condition was called. There's a mechanism in your brain that shuts your motor functions off when you're sleeping, so you don't act out your dreams. And sometimes you wake up before that thing clicks back on, so it feels like something's on top of you. No, nothing's on top of you. It's just the natural body, like, stopping you from acting out your thoughts, you know, so.
Yeah, I work with a lot of cops who have the same, and I hear stories about nightmares that they have about getting into a shootout, and the gun would not shoot. And yeah, I would say in my 26 years, I had that nightmare like maybe 3 times, and it was scary. Like getting into a shootout and you're firing your gun and the bullets are not coming out.
Oh my God, yeah.
A lot of cops have that nightmare.
I didn't, when you said recurring nightmare, I didn't envision that, you know. I thought you were talking about like demons and stuff like that. I've had a recurring dream, like nightmare like that too, but not with a shootout. Like in my dream, I'm fighting with somebody, but every time I throw a punch, it's in slow motion and it always misses. You know, and I've had that recurring dream a few times. So that might be what you was alluding to.
Yeah, maybe like, I mean, I figure serving time in prison is like a traumatic experience for some, you know.
Yeah.
But if you didn't get any like recurring nightmares, you know, you're strong-minded.
Oh, thank you. But that I had that recurring dream, like fighting and can't swing. You know, so yeah, that's probably the recurring nightmare. I mean, first bit I didn't have that many nightmares. This bit here, I had a lot of nightmares. Like sometimes I wake up like, holy shit, thank God I'm awake. Or in my dream, I'm like, wake up, wake up, wake up, this can't be real, this can't be real. You know, so.
And you serve in the state, so did you see any like the Asian gangs inside the state prison system where they stick together?
On my last bid?
Yeah.
Yes. On my last bid, yes. This bid, no.
Were they OGs from like the 70s and 80s during those days?
Yeah, they were. They were. Some from the, none from the 70s. Mostly from the 80s and early 90s. Because that's when they was cracking down on Asian gangs the hardest.
Yeah, some of them doing a lot of time.
Yeah. Some. But this time around, not as much. Like, it's a different generation.
And they stick together, right? The Ghost Shadows and the Flying Dragons, they mingle with each other, and they're no longer enemies when they're in the prison system.
They tried to kill me when I was 13. I got shot. So, no, I'm not friends with none of them in there. Like, y'all try to take my life. Like, how can I be friends with you? I can't break bread with you. Like, I can't hang out with you. We can't, like, I might not actively pursue a conflict.
So if you see a Flying Dragon member in there, you're not going to actively pursue a conflict with them? Like, you're not going to get revenge if they shot at you in the streets before?
If it was the same people that shot at me, yeah, I'm popping. But if you're just associates of them, then I won't pop on you, but I won't fuck with you either.
Did you ever bump into any guys that try to take your life while you're out in the streets that shot at you?
No, never. But I've bumped into like dragons before. I've bumped into other groups before, and I just don't talk to them. Like, I'm not your enemy, but I'm not your fucking friend. You know, so. Yeah. I mean, other Asians stuck together. I guess my principle was a little bit different, you know, because I was already convinced. Not convinced. I was sure that this is my life in jail. So I'm going to be comfortable and I'm going to keep the same energy that I had out there. Because this is my world for now. The only thing y'all taking away from me is pussy. And I got that before. So in there, you can still smoke weed, still smoke cigarettes, you could drink. You could hang out with your friends, your boys, your bros, you know. It was, like I said, it was an extension of the gang life. You know, the only thing y'all took from me was the girls stuff. Because we was basically still doing the same thing. Hang out in the yard, sell drugs, do this, do that, you know what I'm saying? So, no.
You making any good money selling drugs in there?
Yeah. I was doing my thing, you know. I got caught a few times, you know, but I was doing my thing. I remember a funny story. The last time I got bad prison stories because that's where I spent the bulk of my life. I remember one time I got caught with like 1.5 grams, and I was bagging it up and stuff. So they knew I was selling it, and the captain called me into the watch commander's office and said, "This is the second time you got caught with drugs, right? And you went to the box the last time. I don't know how you came back out to the jail, but we're gonna kick you out this time unless you tell me where you're getting this from." I said, "Tell you where I'm getting this from?" He said, "Yeah, if you tell me where you're getting this from, I will make this ticket disappear and we'll just go after the people that's giving it to you. Because I know you're not getting it yourself." I said, "You promise?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Come here, I don't want nobody here." So he reached over the table. He said, "Who's giving it to you?" I said, Oh my God, he fucking flipped. He smacked the logbook off the table, told the officer, yo, get this asshole out of my face, bring him back to his fucking cell, make sure he go to the fucking box. Like, why would you try me? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you try me, I'm gonna play back with you. I'm gonna play games with you, you know? Like one time I went to this tier hearing, is when you catch a ticket, right? And I was already on loss of rec. But in that jail, if you put your toothbrush on the gate in Sing Sing, you could jam it back open by jumping on it and whatever. So I went to go to the yard, but I was on loss of recreation. I'm not allowed to leave my cell. I can only go to my programs and to the mess hall. I can't go to the yard. Popped my cell, went to the yard. Oh my God, talk about fucking coincident. I had a hospital call out in the morning time, but they never took me because I was keep locked, so they didn't want to take me. I was lost of rec, they didn't take me. At nighttime, they was calling for me, looking to bring me to my appointment. And they just kept paging me, and I finally said, oh man, I'm caught. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just chill out in the yard, and then when the yard go back, I'm gonna go back and, you know, act like sneak back in there. I got caught, and they gave me a ticket. So when I went to the tier hearing, the lieutenant asked me, so what do you plead? I said, guilty. I plead guilty with an explanation. So he's like, what do you mean? I was wrong. I shouldn't have left my cell during my loss of rec time, right? But I have a good explanation. He's like, what is it? I said, if you own the bird, right? If you own the bird and you left the cage open and the bird flew away, whose fault is it? Is it the bird's fault or the owner's fault? He's like, I see where you're going with this. I don't have the keys to open my own cell. The seal opened my cell. I'm a bird. Brrr. I flew out. And you know what? He gave me time served. He said, yo, that is the best excuse I've ever heard. And on record, I couldn't laugh out loud. That's why I'm laughing now. He's turning the tape recorder off. He said, I'm gonna give you time served, no extra days, boom, boom, but don't come out of your cell when you're on loss of rec. I said, I got you, Lou. I ain't gonna do that again. So, you know, sometimes you think they're your enemy, but they have compassion. If you can make them laugh or whatever, you know, it could sway them, you know?
Yeah, they're all humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a job to do, and yeah, it's funny you mentioned that story too, because I remember when I was a cop working in Chinatown, and internal affairs would be like snooping around, you know, certain places, you know, seeing if any police officers are getting, you know, free stuff or getting paid off or whatever. And I always, the people I know pretty well, I tell them, they come and investigate. If anyone's taking anything or getting any free meals, whatever, just say, yeah, you are.
That's what I did, basically, yeah. They don't like that.
Oh, they don't like
that. They don't like that. He was so frustrated. I thought he was going to throw the tape recorder at me, because, you know, they taped the whole hearing. Yeah. So
that's true.
He smacked the logbook. Holy shit. He's mad, you know, so.
Yeah. Especially, you know, the street peddlers, you know, they crack down on that because they think the internal affairs thinking that the cops are taking, you know, money from the peddlers because they're illegal peddlers. Like you see in Chinatown, how many stands are out there illegally.
They used to pay us.
Yeah, they pay the gangs, but then
they
now
paid us for each
internal
square.
affairs think that they pay the cops.
Oh, no.
You know, so I mean, I got nothing to do with those peddlers, but I know them because I've been working there so many years, so I've seen them, you know.
Yeah, even
day in and day out all these years.
Even back in the days, like, even the street peddlers used to pay us. Like, we was a terror. Like, the gangs, the Chinese gangs in Chinatown back then was a terror. And the street peddlers were not Asian. Mm-hmm. So that was, I guess that was our only interactions with non-Asians at that time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the street peddlers.
Yeah, look at Canal Street now. There's all non-Asians out there peddling their wares.
Yeah, all the bootleg stuff. I drove by a few times, I seen that, I was like, damn. And they're crew. I seen them come with some old car. Mm-hmm. They pop the trunk and they just start bringing trays and trays of food to all the peddlers. Mm-hmm. And that made me think like, oh, they're pretty well organized. It's not just a bunch of people just selling shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. During the time when you were hanging out, that was like in the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. How would you compare the West Coast Asian gangs and the East Coast?
West Coast is so different. They're so different from us over there.
Very different.
The Asian gangs over there, they intermingle with every other gangs. Like, they'll fuck with the Mexican Mafia, they'll fuck with the Bloods, they'll fuck with the Crips. Like, they don't just stay in their own community. Like, they just like all the other gangs out there. Mm-hmm. In New York, it was never like that. Like, we stayed within our own circle in our own community.
It's so close to every other ethnic group.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the Asian gangs out west, I seen black people in it. I seen white people in it. You know, like they.
And you rarely see that in the East Coast over here in New York City's Chinatown.
Well, I seen like two.
Very rare.
Very rare.
Very
and they
rare.
speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they was in, because they spoke Chinese. They grew up in Chinatown or whatever, or they came from China, from school. They spoke Chinese.
And the 70s and 80s, you need to speak Chinese in order to feel accepted by them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're like an outsider. That's why like the Vietnamese, they branched off. The ABC, American-born Chinese, who don't speak Cantonese that well, they like treat like an outsider. You know, they can't get into that inner circle.
That's why they came to Bayard.
And look at the Korean. Before, the Flying Dragons had Koreans, and then later on, they just left and became Korean Power.
Korean Power,
KP.
yeah, KP.
And they went to the Midtown.
Yeah, they went to Midtown. In K-Town.
Yeah.
They went to K-Town.
So that's why like the Vietnamese branched out and formed their own gang, BTK. And then even the Flying Dragons and the Ghost Shadow had their own faction, ABC faction also.
Yes, I was just about to tell you that. Like my faction, I was Bayard. Bayard was mostly ABC. We all spoke English. My street was all FOB, and they spoke English, but not like us. So that's why the gongs, like our sponsors, like when they need to go places, they always pick us to go with them because we speak English. We could do a lot of things that a fob wouldn't be able to pass off doing. So that's where the animosity between my street and Bay Street came from, because when the gongs took care of us, when we go out with them, they always pay us. So they always take care of us. And some of the my street guys was like, why they always take them, blah, 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 blah. They never ask us, and we put in more work, and they did. My street, they put in more work than Bay Street. They fought the name out, Ghost Shadow out there for their generation. So, but they didn't really speak English. They was like fobs.
The Tongs actually had power over the gangs until the drugs came into the scene. Because think about it, Uncle Seven had power over the scientists, like had control. And then the Onlong Association had control over the Black Eagles and White Eagles until, you know, Nicky Louis' crew took over. And they still had a bit of control until Eddie Chan came into the power in the Onlong Tong Association. And during that time, Kid Zai, he didn't really entertain the Tong Association. I mean, they still got along, but they didn't respect the Tong Association as much as before because of how he uses his money to get that position in the Tong Association. I would say that by the time Onion Head got involved with the drugs, I don't think Uncle Seven had too much control over that, because now
you're making your own money.
You're making your own money. You're making so much money that the Tong's not going to have any control over that.
I think that's one of the reasons why one of our rules was don't sell drugs.
Yeah.
Because drugs bring heat, drugs do this,
Exactly.
and they lose power when you're doing drugs.
Lose power. Like,
Exactly.
think about it. If let's say like the Gambino, right, crime family, Castellano didn't want their people to doing drugs, but then now you got one set doing drugs, and now that set is making more money than ever. They're gonna feel more powerful than the boss himself.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the downfall.
Because once there's a shift in power, that's when all the nasty emotions come out, envy, jealousy, and all those other non-good emotions. That's what happens when there's a shift in power.
And that's why I think the Tongs lost control over the gangs when the drugs came into play.
Yeah. But they couldn't control my street anyway, because those kids were so wild back then too.
The Tongs...
They were smoking crack on the streets. That's how wild it was. With the pipe.
The later generation,
Yeah.
I would say like during the time when the Black Eagles and White Eagles, the Tongs really had some sort of grip over them.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about that generation. I'm talking about my generation. Like my generation, they were smoking crack freebasing on the streets, and word came from up top saying, "Yo, they gotta stop that shit." But they kept doing it because they were so wild. They was fighting for the name. It's like you couldn't get rid of them because they was bringing recognition. So that's why they favored us more as well. Because then we realized that we don't need them. We don't need them. What are they doing for us?
But back then, if you're talking about the 70s and
No.
80s,
Don't-
it's so Chinatown is just so close knit that they need the tongs.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, the kids realize, hey, we don't need you. We can go anywhere. We can go move it to any other state and still make it.
Yeah.
Because back then there was only one Chinatown.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
70s, there was only
Yes.
one Chinatown. Where are you going to go? In New York. If you're going to leave Chinatown, how are you going to make it? You're going to go to the West Coast, San Francisco, Chinatown, or maybe, Boston.
Yeah, those were the closest.
Yeah.
Those are the big Chinatowns.
And they don't speak English. A lot of those gang members back then, they don't speak English. They were new immigrants.
Majority of the gangs didn't really speak English because we preyed on the immigrants to join. So a lot of them didn't really speak English.
But by the time, the 80s came along, there were so many Chinatowns in New York City. You have Flushing, and then you have
Flushing.
Avenue U. There's a big pocket of Chinese people over there. Then you have 86th Street now. It's almost like a Chinatown now over there. And then you have 8th Avenue in Sunset Park.
Yeah.
Multiple Chinatowns.
Yeah, that's where I kind of grew up at.
And then a lot of the kids, they speak English. They join the gang, so they don't need the tongs. The tongs have no power over them anymore.
Especially in Brooklyn, they don't even have an association over there. It was the Wild Wild West back then.
Yeah.
Like in the late 80s and early 90s, 8th Avenue was up for grabs. It was the Wild Wild West. Like business started to bloom, people started making money, and there was nobody telling you what to do. So,
Exactly.
there was a lot of road groups too,
Back then, the kids needed the tongs because the tong had the connections to everything.
Yeah.
Everything they need.
Lawyers, everything. 'Cause
Lawyers.
They didn't really speak English, but they did. And if they didn't, they had
Guns.
translators that did.
Guns, they get
Guns.
the guns for them. They give them the location to extort from.
Yeah.
They open a gambling house and give them a place to protect,
And hang
a
out.
source of revenue, a place to
Yeah.
hang out. So the tongs work hand in hand with the gangs, but then eventually the gangs lost respect for the tongs because now the gangs are doing their own thing and making more money when the drugs came in.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, what are you guys really doing for us back then? Like my generation at least. Kid Gore's generation might be a little bit different because they were still, but by the time my generation rolled around, yeah.
People don't know these things unless they're in the streets. Unless they're in the streets and they don't understand the dynamics of how these things operate between the tongs, the triads, and the gangs.
Yeah. By the time my generation rolled around, that was slowly being phased out already, But like Kid Gore's generation, they was like heavy into respect for the tongs, for the triads, the gangs. Like there was a hierarchy.
Yeah.
By the time my generation came around, it was the Wild Wild West. There ain't no hierarchy. We don't care. Like especially after it was a wild era too. So people was getting shot, people was getting killed. Like we didn't know if we was gonna live the next day. So I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I might not even live past tomorrow. Like. So I don't know.
Like when you're in prison, didn't you ever get that you might catch more time doing, let's say you get challenged in prison and then you're gonna catch another body in there or whatever, and these things come to mind.
I did catch a case in there. So I know they do that. But again, like I said, when you're so young-minded and immature, it's just another stripe on your thing. Like, that motherfucker get busy. He just caught another case. Like, the adulation from your peers in there, it can drive you to do stupid shit and forget about your goals, your long-term goals,
Over petty stuff too, right?
Petty stuff. Like, one of my biggest fights was over Bruce Lee. And I don't even know him. Like, we was in the day room, we was watching this movie called Death Warrant. This was like in 93. Death Warrant came out with Van Damme. So before the movie ended, it was locking time. So we all locked back in our cell, and our cells used to face each other. So we on the gate talking about the movie and shit like that. And this one dude was like, yeah, that motherfucker Van Damme is nice. He fuck anybody up. I see, yeah, he's nice, but he ain't fucking with Bruce. He's like, what, you crazy? So me and him started debating and started arguing. And next thing you know, the worst thing you can tell a man in prison is to suck your dick. Like, you're telling him you're not a man. So suck my dick is fighting words, killing words, dying words, He told me, he said, you can suck my dick, Bruce Lee can suck my dick, and the whole gallery got quiet. Everybody's listening to that shit. I said, see you tomorrow on the lockout. And all night long I couldn't sleep because I know what I'm gonna do to this dude. Like, you just challenged my manhood in front of the whole gallery. Like, in the morning time, he sent me a kite saying, yo, I let my emotions get the better of me, boom, boom, boom. Can we squash it, boom. Yeah, that shit ain't about nothing, that shit ain't about nothing. Once those cells open, ran right into the cell. The night before, I broke my locker, the locker door, made a shank. That's one of the cases I caught. So you could catch cases in there, you know. Stupid, it's very stupid in hindsight. But at the moment, I didn't think it was stupid.
I remember Peter Chin, Kids Eye, told me a story about what happened in prison. It was a triad member that he was with, and he was got his sneakers stolen from a Cuban guy.
I know who he is. I know the story.
Oh, you know the story?
Yeah.
What happened was the guy denied it, but there was a mark on a sneaker, right, that they put on the
Inside.
back. Yeah, so whatever he was able to identify it, the triad member took a cup of oil and put it in the microwave and heated it up and splashed on his face. So this guy's whole face like melted off, and he was sent to intensive care. This guy didn't have much time left to do, right? So, of course, you know, I guess he was charged for assault, whatever, and he did his remaining time, and he got released, sent to immigration, got deported to China. By the time he got deported to China, this guy died, so he got away with murder.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's lucky.
Because this guy was lingering in intensive care for a long time.
But it wasn't just over a pair of sneakers, though. It's the principle. He went into his cell and took his property. The fact that you have the audacity to go in there and take something, there ain't no talking after that.
Yeah.
There ain't no talking after that. And they're looked down upon. Sneak thieves are looked down upon in there. Because I tell them, only cowards are sneak thieves. If I want something from you, I'm going in your cell, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it from you. I'm not going to wait till you leave your cell and sneak in there and steal it. It's a coward move. So, you know, sneak thieves are frowned upon as well, you know.
The guy died over a pair of sneakers.
Over his greed.
Greed.
And from what I heard, it wasn't even a nice pair of sneakers. It was those.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's a different mindset in there. Like, sometimes you lose your way, you lose your humanity in there.
You know, you served time with my friend Sammy
Yes.
Kasaki. Sammy told me a story about that Italian mob guy, you know, gave him a pair of sneakers because when he went in, he had basically nothing. He was a kid, you know. He didn't have money, but this mob guy took care of him. So he never forget that. I think he mentioned that on my channel. One day I'll release it.
Oh, well, being that you bring up Sammy was one of them guys that really represented for Asians too. He represented for the Asian dudes in there. Like, he got everybody together. Like, he didn't have the same mentality as me about shunning other people. He accepted everybody and he took them all under his wing because Sammy could fight. Sammy gets busy with his hands, and when he was in there, he let it be known that he could fight. Like, he fought a lot. Early on in his bid, he fought a lot, and he made a name for himself. So, Sammy, you look at him, he looks short, but that motherfucker got busy. He's one of the guys in prison that I respect. He never changed. He didn't.
I even put in my book, this kid could fight.
He could fight.
Because it was in the 80s when me and him were play fighting inside the apartment in one of the safe house. He was smaller than me. I figured, okay, let's go at it, right?
Yeah.
And he was doing these Thai kicks, kickboxing that back then you don't hear about this. Like, you don't even know what the hell Thai boxing is. It wasn't even popular. I'm like, couldn't even get near him. Like, he's doing these kicks. Like, you hear about karate, Shotokan, all these different type of kung fu, but Thai boxing and the kicking that he was doing, like, that was like unheard of, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't popular.
It wasn't popular.
And there was no schools, there was no kickboxing schools back then, yeah. But he was a barber in there as well, so, you know, people needed him. People needed him. So he was loved by everybody, every race, everybody. Like, there's no animosity towards Sammy. Sammy, he could have been the ambassador of the Asian dudes in the jail that he was in, you know, because he got along with everybody. And he took all of them under his wing. You know?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Good guy.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah. Me and him never was actually in the same jail together. But I was in this jail, he was in this jail, whatever. But I got bounced a lot because, I was, So every time I go to a new jail, they would ask me, yo, you know Sammy, little Sammy, little Sammy? And then like, same thing with Sammy. When anybody goes to his jail, oh, you know Rich, boom, boom, boom. Like, that's how we knew of each other. So when we finally bumped heads in the streets, I was like, oh, you little Sammy. He said, oh, you Rich. So, and we just hit it off because he's heard so many stories about me and I've heard so many stories about him. Like stories that came from reputable sources. So that's how we became friends. Like we was never in the streets together and we never ended up in the same jail together. Because I did my whole time in the max. He had dropped down to a medium by the time I came up north, so we didn't get to, but that is how we met.
I remember a story with Sammy, 16 years old. Me and him went to Marine Park, a pond. I wouldn't call it a lake, call it a pond. He took off all his clothes down to his underwear and he jumped into the water. And then he found a clam. He goes, Mike, look, it's a clam, right? So I took off my clothes into my underwear and jumped in, and now we're like taking all these clams, right? Get a plastic bag, we brought it home, and we cooked it to eat it. Oh man, we were hugging the toilet for the next couple of days. Because when we came out of the water, it was all black. Mm-hmm. It was dead water.
Murky.
It was like murky, blackish water.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were eating. I think it was all like from the sewer.
But do you see the contrast in that? That's an excellent story. The contrast in that is like you guys was this age and you guys was gangbanging, but you guys found the children's activity and you just jumped right into it like it was okay. So how can do you see where I'm going with this? Like the dichotomy of the human personality. Like 1 minute we could be planning to rob somebody or planning to kill somebody, but then we see a lake, we see some stuff. Oh no, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
We become children again.
Yeah,
we become children again.
At that time.
Yeah.
So we had plenty of fun.
Mm-hmm. And that's what was crazy about being in a gang back then.
And memories, yeah.
We was children.
Yeah, there's some stories with him too. We went to a Asian party, and he jumped out of the car. He couldn't wait to go inside. Then he was surrounded by the green dragons.
Oh.
I went inside to look for him. By the time I parked my car, I went inside to look for him. I'm looking all around. Like, where'd he go? Looking all over for him. And then he told me, then I went outside back to my car. Then now I found him in the streets. I was surrounded by the green dragons. They checked me, asked me bin lando and all that. It could have turned messy.
Very.
Could have turned messy at that time.
Very.
Yeah.
During that time, in the Green Dragons' reign in Queens, they was the wildest gang out there.
Yeah.
In Queens. They was wild.
They surrounded him. There were like 5 guys surrounding him. One.
Yeah, he's very fortunate that he left with his life that day. Because back then, Green Dragons wasn't playing. They were shooting civilians. And one of the rules was don't shoot no white people because that brings heat. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They didn't care. So, yeah. It's crazy.
There's another story with either the Green Dragons or they started trouble with us in the Golden Q. Remember the Golden Q?
Yeah, I remember Golden Q. I used to go there. In hindsight, all the crazy shit that happened on the streets with the gang stuff is always perpetrated by children, kids. Majority of them.
You're right.
Majority of them.
They start young.
The
Asian gangs.
Yeah.
Those little.
We were truly children of the corn.
Because they use you. The leaders. They want to recruit like the 13-year-old, 14 and 15-year-old to do the shootings.
Because we're young and impressionable.
Exactly.
So
they're able to mold you and brainwash you.
Manipulate. I'm gonna use the word manipulate. Yeah. Like they was the true pimps.
Yep.
They pimped us out like a motherfucker. If you look at it, all the dialogues, all the bosses, they pimped us out like a motherfucker. They used us, do this, go this, pick up this, blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, they counting cash with machines and just giving us crumbs, and we think the crumbs is like gold.
Look at the history of all the dialogues. They were all charismatic, right? They were all very smart and able to manipulate people and have a large following. Like look at David Dye from PTK. What makes him dangerous? Because he can unite these kids together.
Yeah. And he was a watch seller. He sold counterfeit watches on Canal Street.
Like, he wasn't a gangster.
He was not.
No, but he's
None of us
able-
really respected him. That's a lot of us left when Amigo died, and David Ty was the one that had full control over all of us. I wasn't the only one that left. A lot of people left. Like that phrase, who the fuck is he? He's a fucking counterfeit watch seller on Canal Street. I didn't make that term up. I heard it from my other bros. Like, I'm not following him. Before this, he was selling watches.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Look at the scientists, right? The scientists have his charismatic personality that was able to draw these kids to follow him. You have Clifford Wong, another person. He wasn't a gangster, but he was able to get these kids to follow him.
Yeah.
He was a waiter. And Fu Zhao Po, he was a waiter.
And he controlled one of the wildest gangs out there.
Exactly,
so.
the Green Dragons. The only person is Kid Zai. Kid Zai didn't want that leader position, the Dilo position. He didn't want it. If you read his book, right? Stinky Bug was supposed to, wanted it. You know, it was forced upon him by the members, the soldiers, because they respected Kid Zai
him more. Yeah. And that's how it should be. I mean, that lifestyle shouldn't be, but that lifestyle, that's how it should be. Like, the people that respects, that gets the most respect, And
the thing is, you can have the respect, but you may not know how to be a leader.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I had the respect, but I'm not a leader. I don't have, because leaders have to think, like, I don't like to think. I like to just react. That's why acting is great for me, because I don't have to think. I just follow the script. I get directed, so I don't have to.
I could see someone like you, if you were given that leadership position, you probably don't even want to be a Dilo.
No. At one point I did. Like when I was trying to.
Maybe like a Daima, have your own little crew and clique.
No, I wanted power at one time, but now, like, no, man, no. The Dilos are the first ones that they gun for, like the FBI or whatever. I don't want that, no.
You could see yourself as like a Robin Chi, or like a scientist,
never.
or like
Never.
Clifford Wong.
Well, the scientist and Clifford Wong, I don't know personally, so I can't say I'll never be like him. But Robin, I would never be like him. Never. I can't. There's a mirror I look at every day. So no, I could never be like him.
Didn't you follow him?
Yeah.
You were under Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. And you know the story. So I don't want to bring it up, but I could never be like him. Not trying to glorify what I did in the past, but we're cut from two different cloths. Like, we don't have the same integrity and morals and principles.
Yeah, a lot of these, the leaders of these gangs, they didn't pay their dues.
Nope. And on my first bid, I always said, yo, when I come out, all my ex-Dilos, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them. But then, by the time you get out, you forget about it. But
Which Dilo
it's the best.
you would say is
It's the best.
the real deal?
Amigo.
Amigo, yeah.
Amigo's
that's
the real
one.
deal. Real fucking deal.
That's the real deal.
Real deal. Yeah. And
But then I'm so surprised that how come Amigo didn't get the same following as David Dye?
well, Amigo ran the streets. Like, everything went through him, but he was all for the gang. He was all for the bros. Like, if he had $1, he'll split it with everybody. Like, that's who he was. And that's why they killed him, because they know that he was the backbone. Because BTK had beef with all the gangs at that time, and all the gangs got together to try to wipe BTK out. And they know killing David Ty is not going to solve that BTK problem. It's going to just put more power in Amigo's hands. That's why they killed Amigo, because they know he was a threat. They know he get busy. They know he definitely could move the needle. If he says go, everybody's on go time. Nobody's gonna hesitate or, oh man, I gotta do that. Nah. So that's why they gunned him down. You go after the head. You go after the important head. He might be the figurehead. Everybody knows You're a fucking counterfeit watch dealer.
David Dye was the figurehead, but he was able to gather all these people.
He gathered all the
Drawn to
leftovers.
him,
He
yeah.
gathered all the leftovers. All the live ones
All
left
the
when the Amigo died.
Vietnamese from other states who don't really know what the inner working of the BTK was like. That Amigo was the one who was truly respected.
He is. He is. He was the one that he got all of us, and you cannot find one single ex-BTK member that would have one bad thing to say about Amigo. None. Zero. He never gave you a reason to dislike him. And it wasn't just us that respected him. All the other crews, like the Daimas from T.O., the Daimas from Go Shout, the Daimas from FD, they was friends with him. That's why his nickname was Amigo. He was cool with everybody. Everybody respected him. Everybody was cool with him. But at the end of the day, when you fuck with somebody's wallet, all that friendship shit go out the window. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Amigo is the one who can make things happen.
Yeah, he definitely could.
Even during my time in the streets, his name keep popping up, Amigo. And David Dye wasn't really seen as a threat. It was Amigo and his crew.
Yeah. Yeah, Amigo and his crew. And I was from Brooklyn, and we followed him, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and he was based out of Canal Street, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then you have these other Dailos, what is it? Phu Zhao Po. Phu Zhao Po was originally Phuc Chinh. Then he branched off and formed the Green Dragon. You know, after Thai got gunned down, then he went to form the Green Dragon. And then K took over Thai's position, became the leader of the Phuc Chinh. And
Well, you know the history of every single gang.
oh yeah, you didn't know that?
I only know the histories of, you know, what I was a part of. I don't know the histories of every single one, you know?
Phu Zhao Po was originally a waiter, and he met Kid Zai at Kid Zai's club. He asked Kid Zai to borrow money because Kid Zai was doing loan shark back then to open a prostitution house. So Kid Zai loaned him the money, and from there he was selling coke to the girls who worked there. Then he parlayed that money into dealing with heroin. Then he made it big.
Yeah, like, I know other gangs, safe houses, I know where they hang out at, because, you know, we need to know that in case war breaks out. But, like, as far as their history, like, not that I couldn't care less, but it's just...
How many safe houses did you have when you were running around with your crew?
When you say safe house, you mean like apartment?
Like apartment. We call it apartment back in those days.
Yeah.
Nobody called it safe house.
No,
It was
apartment.
just for the purpose of the YouTube channel, so people can understand. But if we say apartment, people think that it's just
Five.
5 apartments, right?
5.
Yeah.
No.
We had about the same. I remember we had one on, let's see, one in Woodhaven, one in Flushing. We have another one in Brooklyn. Actually, we had 2 in Brooklyn. One near Williamsburg, and then one in Chinatown. We always hang out at that gambling house called Kiu Ching, right next to Rosemary Theater.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so
All 5 of our safe houses in Chinatown.
yeah, yours is all in Chinatown.
All in Chinatown.
All right, so let's end it here for now. Of course, we have plenty of opportunity to get more stories later on. Okay,
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
thanks for coming on this channel.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Thank
it's
you
a
for having
pleasure.
me.
It's a pleasure. Hey, Richie.
What's up, bro? Long time no
Welcome
see.
back to Chinatown Gang Stories.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we had a good conversation about various topics, you know, the last time you were here.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me about the poetry you wrote, so that's why we're here today.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So, you know, when I was in there, I tried to, like, reach out to, like, different things and stuff like that to express myself, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know why I did it. Like, probably saw other people doing it and said, fuck it, I want to do it too, but I don't know. But I started when I was in the box. So, you know, I felt at that time, I was like probably, I won't say at the lowest point in my life, but it was pretty low, you know. I just went to the box, they had just shut off my water, they had just shut off my power. So, you know, I was there like basically in the dark. So I was like, you know what? This feeling is crazy. Like these emotions I'm feeling, like, I gotta put this shit down. I gotta write this shit down before I forget it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up writing it down. And originally I didn't have writing paper at that time, right? So I had like a broken pen or whatever, pencil or whatever. And I took the lead and I was writing it on toilet paper. And then I saved it. And then I ended up writing it, copying it on paper. But when I recopied it, like, I felt like I had to add other stuff to it. So I don't want to say that this is the unadulterated version that when I was at my lowest, but it came from that because I retouched it up afterwards because I had it in toilet paper and I had written a lot of stuff that didn't even hold no meaning for me afterwards. Because, you know, anger is a feeling. Eventually you get over it, you know. Even the feeling of I don't know if I'm using this correctly, dismal or whatever, when you feel like you ain't got nothing to live for. It's only a feeling. It's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. You know. So I wrote some stuff that I didn't even feel like that later on. So this is like the cleaned up version.
Definitely like to read it and hear it. Everybody goes through ups and downs in their life.
Yeah.
I feel that when you're at a low point in your life, that's when your true character comes out and your feelings come out. It shows how resilient a person can be.
Yeah. I always believe, and I mean, I didn't make this up, but I love this saying, you know, you never know how tough you are until being tough is the only option you have. You know, so like you can say, yo, I could do this, I could do that, but I could deal with this, I could deal with that, but you don't know until you're thrust into that position where you ain't got no other choice but to stand strong, you know? So, you know.
When you wrote this piece, you were at a low point in your life.
Yeah, pretty low. Well, and that's when I first started writing. You know, I didn't write right away when I went in there. It took me like, I want to say like 5-6 years before I decided, let me just, because I hear dudes rapping on the vent, because in the box you can't see each other, so there's no human contact, 23-hour lockdown. So how we used to talk through the vent, like the HVAC vent, because they have to circulate air in the cells or whatever, and all the cells was lined up like this. So for me to talk to somebody all the way down there, I'll climb up to the thing and talk into the vent. And it's like, we say, yo, go to the phone, or go to the back cave. Because you can hear yourself very clearly through the air vents. And you can't hear yourself. You can't hear each other any other way. Because I used to play chess with my friend. And he was like 8 cells away from me. And we used to play chess through the vent. So I used to always hear people rap on the vent. And they used to write their poetry, and I'm like, damn, everybody jacking them like this shit ain't even all that good, and everybody's like, yeah, it's great. So I'm like, I want that kind of adulation. Let me start writing some shit. But no.
Actually, poetry is like very similar to rap.
It is.
It rhymes.
It rhymes, and poetry, I feel like I could cheat a little because sometimes it don't have to rhyme as long as the ideology and the concept makes sense. It could mesh, but
it's a form of like self-expression.
It's a form of self-expression, yeah. Like for somebody like me that's mad chatty, I love to talk. So it was a good outlet for me, you know. It was a good outlet for me.
Let's hear it.
All right, which one? I'm the first one.
Yeah,
the first one. All right. Look how raggedy my book looks. Yo, this book been with me through so many different jails. Look, some of the ink is coming off on the shit, you know.
Wow, you have a lot of writing over there, a lot of pieces.
Yeah. This book traveled with me so far that some of the cover ripped off in my travels, because you know when you go to the box, the police pack your property up. So they don't take care of your property. They just take your shit and throw it in a bag or whatever. So this shit been through war. All right, so
before you start, I want to let you know that I also wrote a piece about you.
About me?
Yeah. So
get out of here.
Yeah. So after we left that interview, I went home and I drafted up a piece. Took me about an hour. I like to read it to you after I hear your poem.
Oh my God, I'm fucking so touched. like no Diddy, I'm mad touched with that. Yo, that I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear
yours
it.
First.
Damn, now you're telling me, now you gave me stage fright.
It's not a competition.
And it took you an hour. This took me like weeks.
I'm an amateur.
You took an hour. This took me weeks.
I'm into this stuff. I like it.
All right.
I like writing.
All right, so this one is called Better Days, right? This feeling I have, I can't even explain. It's nothing that can be compared to physical pain. This pain they claim that time can heal, it's got to be different from what I feel. I don't know why I used to boast that I felt all the things that hurt the most. There are no words that can be spoken to express the pain of a heart that has been broken. My feelings are deceiving. They can't be relied on. I can't trust my emotions. They have to be spied on. I don't need a shoulder to cry on. I need a shoulder to help me with these thoughts that weigh heavily in my heart and soul that has turned black and cold. What can I do? I really don't know. Karma is a motherfucker. I reap what I sow. Is this pain for real or is it all in my head? My heart is still beating, but I feel like I'm dead. And as sure as I am that one day my body and spirit will separate, I know for a fact within my soul is where all this pain is marinating. But as sure as I am that the sun will dry the rains of my yesterdays, it will also dry my tears as I hope for better days. So that was better days. That was like, I was like, damn, this can't be my life. Like, what the fuck? Like, why am I here? What the hell? You know? Like, that was my emotional stage when I was writing this. I was still young-minded. Like, I was still blaming the world for all the woe that has befell upon me. I didn't take responsibilities for my actions yet. Like, I was still a kid when I wrote this. So I was still blaming, like, I still couldn't understand why this shit was happening to me. Like, am I fucking cursed? But then, now that I'm older, I realize technically, I already knew why this was happening to me because I said karma is a motherfucker. Like, I already knew, but I didn't recognize it.
How many years ago did you write that?
Oh, man. I wrote this, I want to say like 2000,
Wow.
2001 maybe?
25 years ago.
I'm telling you, this book been with me for and this is just volume 2. I have like the cover's been ripped off, like the shit is like.
It speaks volumes about you and your mindset back then.
Well, 2000, how old was I in 2000?
This is like a time capsule into your mind.
I was 24. No, 16 plus 8 is 4. I was 24, yeah, 24, 25 at the time.
So it says, this feeling I have, I can't even explain. It's nothing that can be compared to physical pain. So you're going through some mental torture that's even more powerful than physical pain. So you're going through a lot back then.
I was.
The pain they claim that time can heal, it's got to be different from what I feel. It shows that you're going through a lot of mental turmoil. I don't know why I used to boast that I felt all the things that hurt the most.
I used to brag about, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been beat up, I don't care, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and you indicate that in your previous interviews that you like to be the center of attention and you want to, so.
Not anymore.
You don't understand why you're like that. As you get older, you learn to adjust. There are no words that can be spoken to express the pain of a heart that has been broken. Yeah, so that may come from a broken relationship. It could be with friends, parents, your significant other.
At that time when I wrote that, the girl that I was with had just left me at that time.
My feelings are deceiving. They can't be relied on. Can't trust my emotions. They have to be spied on. So you were going through a lot of
I ain't trust myself.
Mixed feelings.
Yeah, I ain't trust my feelings. Like,
you didn't know. Wait a minute, are these feelings for real? It was like,
am I really sad? Am I really stressed? Am I really happy? I ain't even know.
I don't need a shoulder to cry on. I need a shoulder to help me. Probably at that point in your life, you really needed someone as like a mentor, as someone that you can talk to, someone that can guide you, which you probably didn't have and you were craving for.
Yeah. And not just somebody that would just be like, oh, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, how's it going to be okay, man? I'm going through puberty in prison.
With these thoughts that weigh heavily in my heart and soul, that has turned black and cold. It was what you've been through that made you that way. Made you cold and dark. I'm a Star Wars fan, the dark side.
The dark side.
So you basically, whatever you experience, it brought you over to the dark side, and you're still fighting it.
You're a Star Wars fan? We're going to go back to that, because I have a question to ask you about Star Wars.
All right, so you collect Legos, and you like writing poetry.
So two hobbies that nobody knows about.
That nobody knows about.
Nobody knows about.
Like, I don't always had that mask on.
I always had the mask on. Like, if people realize that, like, people call me up on the weekend, yo, Rich, what's up? Where we going tonight? Oh, where we going this weekend? I'd be like, yo, I got mad work I got to catch up on. I'm trying to study for this script. Like, I'd be using mad excuses. But meanwhile, the minute I hang up, I'm building Legos. It's my escape.
You ready?
Lisa right there. Jurassic Park. Groot. Rocket. Both Infinity Gauntlets. Keith Haring's paintings back in the days, if you guys remember. That's the Friends Central Perk.
Mm-hmm.
Game Boy. Viking Village. Indiana Jones. Pyramid of Giza. This is the Monkey King's Tower. And Jago's boat. This is my Asian section. Mike got me this. I'm about to do this next. This is Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
It's so detailed. This is a Tudor corner. Like, it's one of the special houses in England. The cars. This Avenger Tower, my pride and joy. X-Men Mansion, the Daily Bugle. Got the Nike Dunks. Transformers, loved them as a kid. Mario Brothers. Ewok, Gremlin, Little Shops of Horror, Nightmare Before Christmas, R2D2, C3PO, Simpsons. This is a guilty. Don't look at this one.
Okay.
Nah, this is Twilight.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the new Batman mobile, the latest Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
Original Batman. Christian Bale Batman. Dom's Fast and the Furious. The other Fast and the Furious. Ghostbuster. Back to the Future.
Awesome.
That's my hobby. You go out and people say, oh yeah, but you waste so much money on Legos, it's mad expensive. It's cheaper than popping a bottle in the club.
Exactly. Set your priorities.
Yeah.
What can I do? I really don't know. Karma is a motherfucker. I reap what I sow. You don't fear the repercussions. That's another way of seeing it as well. You don't fear the outcome. What's going to happen? You know, the consequences.
Comes.
Yeah, what comes your way is going to come your way.
It'll come regardless.
Is this pain for real or is it all in my head? My heart is still beating, but I feel like I'm dead. You're going through a lot.
No.
I feel like a zombie.
Yeah.
For you to write this. And as sure as I am that one day my body and spirit will separate, I know for a fact within my soul is where all this pain will marinate. But as sure as the sun will dry the rains of my yesterdays, it will also dry my tears as I hope for better days. Yeah, when you get to a low point, you can't get any lower. You can only go up.
Yeah. And as I'm reading this and thinking about this, it reminds me of where I was when I wrote this. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's like how far like life can be take you. Like one day you're here, one day you're there. Like one day you could be on top of the mountain. The next day you could be all the way on the bottom. Like
that's why I mean, we were with Mitch just now.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes ago. And he mentioned to you that when I first met him, I gifted him a bottle of a special edition Johnny Walker Blue, right? The one.
Bro.
And
where's my gift? I'm just kidding, Mike. I'm just kidding, Mike.
And he said that he saved it until now.
Yeah?
And what did I tell him?
You got to enjoy it. It's not for saving. It's to
because
enjoy it. Tomorrow's not
Tomorrow's
promised.
not guaranteed.
Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Well, I didn't hear your whole conversation because I don't eavesdrop. But yo, what's up, man? What's my That is my brand, though. I like blue and I like not only 1942.
Oh, yeah?
So those are my two
I think
drink
it
of
was
choice.
the year of the dragon. I think.
Oh my God, I'm born in the year of the dragon.
Oh, you got that one?
No, I don't. Because wait. I was still inside when Chinese New Year of the Dragon came out. Because I didn't get out until March. And Chinese New Year was like in February. Mm-hmm. So in 2024, I missed my, I'm born in the year of the dragon, my year thing, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest regrets is that year, Lego came out with a Chinese New Year dragon, year of the dragon.
I remember.
And I can't buy that shit. I can't buy that thing anywhere. I'm looking all over. Like the aftermarket.
Oh, they have it?
They have it, yeah. When it first came out, it was like $120, right?
Oh.
But now because it's discontinued, it's a retired product, they're never going to make it again. Like some aftermarket place is selling for $300-400. So, and it's not big, but it was the Chinese New Year anniversary edition.
Oh.
I got this year's one though.
Hey, it's a collector's item.
Yeah. But I opened it up out of the box, so it's not worth nothing.
Yeah, you gotta keep it sealed.
Yeah.
Just like those Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
If you don't open it, it's worth
a lot. But you know, with the toy, to keep it sealed, like you want to play with it, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep it in the box. It's like your virginity. You don't want to just keep it sealed and then you want to take it out and play with it, you know.
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's hard to find. It's rare. Let me read you.
Yes, I'm very anxious that you said that it's about me.
It's about you.
What?
Let's see if you can relate to this.
Okay.
All right. I titled it "The Transformation of Richie Ng."
Oh my God.
All right.
Goosebumps.
First bid, I was just a kid. In the cell, had time to dwell. Trying to live it, made me live it. 18 years in prison, haven't learned my lesson. Taste of freedom, didn't provide wisdom. When I tasted success, my life became a mess. Thinking I was the man, placed me back in the can. A smear that's difficult to erase for a rep that I crave to chase. Second bid, such a pity, made a 360 over 180. 5.5 years, fighting back tears. Learn my lesson, fix my aggression, reflect upon my decisions. Moving forward with determination. Friends and family will see positive change in me is a guarantee. They never abandon me. Takes a real man to keep a promise. I will no longer be a menace. It's tough to be good, so I'm gonna be tough. It's gonna be rough. I'm a survivor. Gonna be the driver. Taking the road to success where the impossible is difficult. The difficult becomes inevitable if I stay out of trouble. It's a confirmation of my transformation. Nothing's gonna stop me. Walking away from bad energy. Making a difference in my hood. Guide them to be good. Filter bad advice. Discard the vice. Friends and family enjoy Ng. The new Richie Ng. Chinatown gang stories is our thing. Ain't no faking. History in the making. Peace.
Yo, that shit gave me goosebumps. Yo, and you can't tell me you wrote that in an hour.
Yeah. After I went home that night, after our interview, I just like, you know what? Let me do a recap of Richie Ng's life.
Holy
I know
shit!
Your background and,
yeah, that's I can't believe an hour.
Yeah.
Can I see how long it is?
Not that long.
Bro, an hour? See, this is proof that you got to stay in school. Like, Mike went to college. Like, it would have took me months to do this. It would have took me months to do this. He took this in an hour. Yo, look, you scroll up, there's so many. Yo, you're the beast, bro. Yo, thank you, man. I'm very honored that you would write this.
Something you can relate to.
Yes, I could really relate to it. Like, I felt like somebody narrating my life just now. Like a voiceover, like I don't know. It was cool. It was touching and cool at the same. Yo, bro, you get me emotional. Like, damn, thank you, bro.
And another thing I wanna give you. I got something for you. 1 second, let me go grab it.
Oh, damn, gift day. I love it. Hope it's about a Johnny Blue. Just kidding, Mike. I'm just kidding. And you said you're a Star Wars fan, right? I was just thinking the other day, maybe because you know how the way Yoda talks, like backwards and stuff like that? Doesn't it sound a little like Cantonese? Like, okay, for example, Cantonese.
Sounds poetic.
Siu say all, right? Siu say all, laugh die me. Doesn't that sound like Yoda?
All right, so before I grab it, it's more about like promoting peace, harmony, and tranquility in your life.
You're not putting handcuffs on me again,
And
are
that's
you?
what you need. That's what you need. Get rid of all the anger. All right, get rid of all the anger and more about love and peace.
Love and
basically.
peace. Yes,
Right?
yes.
And
love and peace.
it's something for you to remind yourself. That's what you need when you look at it.
Tranquility.
Tranquility, peace, and harmony. All right, so
All right. Not shackles and handcuffs.
it's a Lego set.
Oh my God! Oh Mike, thank you, bro. Bro, bro, I appreciate you, bro. Yo, I'm gonna go home and build this right away.
It's something small, but
No.
it has some meaning to it, you know? Because
I love all stuff Asian.
Yeah.
Like
when you look
the
at
bonsai tree.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that I bring holy shit.
Isn't it like very peaceful when you look at this?
It is. It
Brings
is.
like a certain energy.
Mike, when you come, you know what? Next time you come over, come to my house, I'm gonna show you my Lego room. I have a Lego room, guys. I have a whole room. Like, it's a little outrageous. It's a little crazy, but if you guys want to see it, comment below. I'll show it to you. Like, I got like so many sets.
Hope you like it.
I love it. I love it, Mike. I want to build it right now. I want to build it right now. And this is not for kids. This is like 18 plus. Like a lot of people say like Legos is for kids. I don't build no Legos that's like 9 plus, 10 plus. There has to be 18 plus for me to do. Yes.
All right,
I love it, Mike. Thank you so much, Mike. There's two of my favorite things. Legos and attention. And you gave me both today. Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me, bro.
So thanks for coming back on CGS. Until next time.
Until next time. We got more poems. We got more stuff.
More stories.
More stories. More stories. Let us know what you want to hear.
Yes. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace.